What I would do is I would get my Lendl model on foot. I would just directly blue tack it onto an eagle.
Yeah.
So he's just stood. He's on his base and everything. You just have pressed him onto
Just
the
on the
eagle,
base, stuck on.
Be like, oh, here we go. Oh,
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Gollum's Gamers podcast. So today we are doing a very special episode, as you can see by everyone's reactions. We are doing want to be very special because we've done a million event previews throughout the year, but this is for a special event. It's the GBHL League Finale event, which is happening this weekend in Nottingham. It is 800 points, 6 games of SBG goodness to close out the GBHL 2023 season. So we are all going. So we're going to be doing one of our event previews. Now, we do have some stats for tonight. We haven't had any for a little while at our events, but we are going to be calling out the current league coordinator, Mr. Alistair King, at the very start of the episode, because he has not managed to send over the list in time for us to do the stats. So everyone go show him some hate, please. Thank you very much.
Ali, this is only Elliot's doing, by the way. None of the others had any choice in that spiel.
Well, he isn't going to be league coordinator anymore, so he can't really dictate himself as he usually does. So
We still love you, Ali. Hashtag join the team.
come on, Ali, be better. Right? Come
please
on.
be our ninth man.
All these guys.
If you want to be our ninth man, leave your resume in the comments below. We are looking for players.
The suck up right now is way too much. Way too much. But without further ado, we are going to get into it with our usual stats, which is the alliance breakdown to begin. Now, when I was doing this, I thought, have I put in the numbers right and everything? Because it's almost an even pie chart into exact quarters, but it's very, very even on almost everything. Now, I should probably say this isn't of all of the lists because Ali hasn't sent them all to me. It's of most of them, and other people hadn't submitted yet as well, but this is as close to good as I can get. So pretty even split across the board.
I like how it looks. The pie chart is very aesthetically pleasing. That's the right reaction face. So viewers, if you're watching on YouTube, me and James have just discovered the reaction feature. So when something epic happens, we will be reacting.
Yes, and for audio listeners, you won't get that sort
of. you won't get to engage in the epic reactions we found on Zoom.
Watch on YouTube.
Watch on YouTube. Like and subscribe,
please.
So it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Green Alliances taking the champion position as always. I wonder how many of those are which King Sally.
Equally as many yellows and green alliances, though. Oh, no, sorry, not greens. Pure armies. So lots of yellows are going. Lots of jankiness.
Yeah, I think at high points you're more likely to see more yellow, aren't you? So.
800 points. It's yeah,
totally.
Yeah, okay. So we are going to move on then to our faction breakdown. Can everyone even see that properly? Yes, I think they can. Okay. Yes. So for the audio listeners, so at the top spot this time round with 11 appearances, we have Mordor, Shock Horror there. Then with 8 appearances, we have Minas Tirith. 6 appearances, we have Serpent Horde in the top 3. No surprises there as well. Then on 4 appearances, we have things like Assault on Helm's Deep, Azog's Hunters, and Azog's Legion.
Return of Assault on Helm's Deep, eh?
Yeah, Halls of Thranduil, Dragon Emperor Legion, Isengard, that's pure Isengard, and Rivendell. So what do we think overall?
I'm concerned about the last bar. The Wanderers in the Wild. I was
going to say about that. Wanderers in the Wild.
If that isn't you, James, you've let everyone down.
Any guesses?
Well, it looks like I've let everyone down then.
You could have made Wanderers in the Wild totally almost in top factions.
Any guesses on who might be taking it?
Stephen Denby.
Such a Jay Acharya kind of faction, just to drop a bomb.
It's my boy Josh Sherman.
Shout out.
My lover boy.
What is interesting is
I
the
think it's pretty standard, no? I don't really see anything that like jumped out to me as insanely.
the sort of return of Assault on Loth and Assault on Helm's Deep.
I think
There's,
4 assaults is pretty
yeah.
yeah.
But how many players is there?
This is only based off of, I think, 50 lists ish, maybe 60.
Definitely 60.
How many players are attending? Whip it up.
I don't know.
I guess
But the list on the page isn't up to date, so they haven't.
Okay.
I mean,
Is the Longshanks up to date?
I don't.
No, no one's thinking it up.
I haven't
Registered
either. No.
I think it's, what is anti-meta? If everyone thinks Witch King Sully is, being taken everywhere, and that is not great into shooting, spam shooting being that, why not take it kind of thing. I wonder if the Lothlorians and the Minas Tiriths, how many of those are combined? It's 8 Minas Tiriths. I doubt all 4 of those are going to have a Boromir ally, but it'd be interesting to see how many there is.
I think having 4 Azog's Legions and Azog's Hunters, obviously some of those may be allied together, but not all of them are. I think that's quite a high number compared to other 800-point previews that we've done.
Respect to that one guy bringing Dead of Dunharrow. Respect.
Isn't that the
Pure
most
ghosts.
competitive list in the game, Vince?
But you laugh, but when you see that many ghosts in tape, you are shitting yourself.
It isn't pure Dead of Dunharrow, though.
So I
You
found
have
the
that
current
one,
list
like-
attendance. Oh wow, that's actually quite a lot. So they are currently up to 70 attendees at the GBHL finale, which is, a
It's
really
not
healthy
accurate.
number.
It's not accurate.
But that's still quite good.
The rough guidance
Around-
of what you're going to be at.
It's
Yeah, of roughly 70 people is pretty interesting. That makes, Assault on Loth, Assault on Helm's Deep almost, over 10% of the field, which is different to what we've seen previously, because after the nerfs, they both kind of decided to have a few months off, but now they seem to be back.
I wonder who's taking them. That's the thing.
Do you reckon, I know, do we think Jay might have gone back to Assault on Helm's Deep?
He has not gone back to Assault on
He has not gone back on Helm. Oh,
He's probably one of the Loth Minas Tirith guys.
Reaction
I
time.
imagine.
We'll be looking at his list, so yeah, we will see. What
Fantastic.
Reaction time.
Reaction time.
This is never ending. I wonder if
Two
the pod
people.
even actually pick them up, though. Maybe it will.
So Vince has shouted out his favourite list. I'm going to shout out my favourite list on here, which is Grand Army of the South. One person taking that. If the absolute Chad gamer who has taken that is listening to this podcast, let me give you a reaction.
Yes, it's the coolest.
Party reaction for you. If you've taken the Mummocks. There it is. What is it? You could get 3 Mummocks at that point at 800.
No, you can't get 3. I don't think it's 2. No, I think
2 and the rest cab, right?
Because the super one is 400 points, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you took potentially one of the Serpent Hordes, could be 3 Mummocks if you took them, skin and bones. But
Can you take all the Far Red stuff with Grand Army of the South?
Yeah, that's true. You don't even have to take a Mummock, I don't think.
No, you don't have to.
What are you allowed in that? Like, are you allowed
Man.
camels and stuff
Yeah.
like that? Or-
Yeah, that's camels.
The Mummocks become pretty lemon, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
No, it seems like the standard it actually encompasses the 2023 season quite nicely, I think.
I think so.
You've got Mordor leading the pack, as it has all year. Minas Tirith close second, which it has almost all year. Serpent Horde being in there supporting Mordor for the Witch King Sully. I would like to see if any of those Serpent Hordes are pure armies, or if they're all allied in with either Mordor or something else. and then a few cheeky assault. Anything else? 2 Bjornings. That's
I'm
pretty.
surprised there's only
okay.
one Angmar list.
High point.
Angmar finishing the year in a pitiful way. Only one list. That's
Why aren't we seeing Angmar that much at high points? Isn't it still pretty good?
It's pretty good at 800, isn't it?
I just like, why aren't people wanting to take it? I don't know. Is it just
Yeah.
good into the meta because it can't charge Witch King Sully and things? I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
maybe.
a pretty rough time against Witch King Sully. I mean, if you just resist everything with Gullivar and he never fails to roll a 6, you can be okay, but that requires that.
it is very, yeah, because the thing is with Witch King Sully is you've got 2 support casters usually and a 6-inch banner, and your whole line is D6. So you just walk up, protect all your heroes with like the 10 trackers that I'd take. So Gullivar can't. Gullivar can hurl into them, but you don't really care because as long as he's not physically in combat with them, he's putting himself in a difficult position. And then the Witch King Sully line just completely outgrinds the Angmar line because you'll be courage, 3 or 4. Their courage 1. So you charge more, you kill more, you roll more dice, you're the higher fight, like everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
And then Gullivar can still be compelled or transfixed. I think it also doesn't do well into shooting. We've seen like there's 4 Halls of Thranduil that would shoot it to pieces.
With the gully as well, with the monsters, maybe that's
Gullivar now being able to be shot more easily.
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really go into Galadriel and Sentinels very well either.
No,
It's just all round. I feel like it just doesn't. There's just better things that is currently in the meta. I'm not to say it's bad, but someone
it definitely
still do well with it, 100%. But
it definitely isn't bad, but it can fall short to a lot of like bad dice rolls. Whereas thing is with Witch King Sully, if you have a few bad dice rolls, it doesn't really matter. But like if you fail a Sentinel test with Gullivar, you've probably lost the game, which is kind of, you don't want to be in that position.
high risk, high reward.
Yeah. I guess other thing to mention is 4 Dragon Emperors. Is that kind of roughly around the
a
same?
lot more points throughout the year. Maybe not what I was
800's a bit.
expecting to see. I didn't think I was going to see 4.
Isn't it better at 750, Elliot, as our Dragon Emperor King?
Yes, it's still got a lot of legs at 800. There's not obviously that much in it. I think the most optimal way you could probably run it is at 750, but I think it's, we're talking 0.3% worse at 800. Like, I don't think there's much in it, really.
Is that did you find that percentage from rigorous testing?
I did. While I was making these stats, I still think it's really good at 800, so that's why you see it at high points. I think anything over 700, it's still really, really good. So you can just build it in different ways.
There's an interesting spread. And there's one fateful Khazad-dûm player. Let's see how that goes.
Durin is not the leader of that list as well.
Jeez.
At 800 points. Oh, sorry, did you say Khazad-dûm or Kingdom of Moria?
Yeah, obviously Kingdom of Moria is run by Balin.
Yeah, I didn't.
I was like, that's the only way you can run that.
I was like, did you say Khazad-dûm or Kingdom of Moria?
Oh man.
Right. Okay. Let's move on to the leader breakdown. So for the audio listener, in the top 4, unsurprisingly, if you've listened to any of our other previews, there are 9 Witch Kings going to this event. Not the most we've seen. Is the most like 12 or something we saw this year? 11?
I think in the Good v Evil we saw 14.
Is it
14?
We did see a crazy high one. Yeah. So
which is kind of different because it's Good v Evil, but I think 9 in taking a single army is incredibly high.
Still really, really high. Yeah.
Not overpowered at all.
No. So there are 9 Witch Kings. Then in the next highest spot after that with 4 appearances, we have a 3-way tie between Boromir, the Dragon Emperor, and the Uruk-hai Commander from Assault. Then after that, with 3 appearances, we have Azog, Galadriel, and Saruman, and then a number of other leaders. So any thoughts from this one?
How many ministers were there? in the overall factions? 7.
8 in total.
Okay, so 4 of those, I'd assume, have allies, unless there's a there's a Gareth the White there. So one
There's
of
a King Alatar as well.
Okay, so two probably Lothlorien Ministry of lists, which it's not, it's maybe potentially less than I'd think would be there, but
Yeah.
I feel like Theoden's always one that is usually really high as a leader when it comes to
Yeah.
Rise of Theoden, and only one.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure if I saw that list, it's not like it's a bit of an odd alliance sort of thing from what I remember. So yeah, no Riders of Theoden or anything, which is a bit unusual. Ashley, you had your hand raised before you changed to
I was using the Zoom functions to my advantage. I had a few thoughts, as always. It's interesting to prove that there is only Saladin is one leader at the 6 factions. So that means 5 of the other Saladins, 5 of the other Serpent Hordes, have been allied. The same with Thranduil as well. The fact that there was 4 halls of Thranduil, but clearly 3 of those have just been Legolas 1-drops because you wouldn't, that's the only reason you wouldn't take Thranduil. And also to see a Forlong the Fat as a leader. I'd like to see that list. That sounds
You may be taking a look at that list.
Oh, now that is foreshadowing.
I just knew you were going to say that, so I'm a good host.
And a Slayer of Men as well as a leader.
We were going to look at that list, but yeah.
Oh, you decided to bin it off last minute.
Yeah.
No, it's a sort of your classic leader breakdown that we've seen. I think the fact that the Uruk-hai Commander, up at 4, it does show the resurgence of Assault on Helm's Deep, because I haven't seen in the leader faction breakdown, the Uruk-hai Commander up that high for ages. So one final stand, because I do still think Assault on Helm's Deep it's still very, very potent, especially 800 points. I think, Vince, you're probably our subject matter expert. How many models can you get? Is it like 40, upwards of 44, 45?
Yeah, it's like 43 or 4. Yeah.
So you're packing how many crossbows? What, 10, 11?
No, more than that. Like, wait, let me check my list.
We may see a little bit later on, so we may get.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll leave the.
I think it's like 13, 14.
I'll put a pin in the why Assault on Helm's Deep is still good spiel I was going to give until a little bit later. Then
The Uruk-hai Commander isn't the only Uruk-hai up there, though. We've got Ugluk holding his weight.
Where's Lurtz, Vince? Why is he not a leader?
Needs a fell beast, doesn't he? Poor soul.
Where's the fell beast? Justice for Lurtz.
Shout out Monster Mash event next year where you can take Lurtz on fell beast. Vince's shout out to Atomic Cards Tom, clearly listened to our podcast and thought, I know how to please Vince. I'll create an event specifically for him. So there you go.
Vince will be in attendance. Confirmed.
I don't see any Elendils, which is surprising.
Yeah, a couple Glorfindels and Gil-galad in there, and a Silver.
Yeah, there's 3 Numenors, so one Isildur. So yeah, 2 Isildurs that are allied in, then I imagine, unless it's Gil-galad and Elendil.
There's only 1 Isildur on there.
So wouldn't you?
Are probably just captains.
Yeah, into Rivendell.
Yeah,
it is a good point, Vince, because Elendil, we've spoken about previously, does deal with the current meta pretty nicely.
Yeah, he's so good, and 800 points is like a perfect opportunity to take him.
Do you think maybe there's a Elendil Galadriel combination? I've seen that before, so there
possibly
could be Elendils in play. How many? So there's 1 Isildur, so there potentially could be 2 Elendils with Galadriels or another Hero of Legend. But
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I'm going to make it my 2024 New Year's resolution, my goal for 2024 to finally paint my Numenor, my spearmen.
Whoa.
Actually run Last Alliance. I've had them for like 2 years now.
What about I wonder what the viewers would think of having a painting episode, or like a paint with Shilling Law episode where you just,
Yeah.
that would be lemon.
You'd watch every second, I know you would. Right, moving on from the leader breakdown, we are going to go to our model count statistics, which is fairly sort of standard towards other 800-point events that we've seen. So
That is a beautiful standard deviation. Right there.
average model count for this event, 41 models, 800 points. So just over the sort of, average that you'd expect at 800 points. The highest being 104 models and the lowest being 5 at 800 points. Any thoughts?
I don't want to play the Goblin Town person who's got 104 models.
No.
What if it's
Like, can you imagine if Rawson or Farmer, draw them at recon first round and just completely ruin the entire season because they then can't, they then lose instantly. You're like, oh, I've got 2 more bands of mercenaries, I've got a scribe, I've also got 104 models, and the Farmer and Rawson have got their normal lists. And the guy just walks up the board. Oh, that would be funny.
That would.
Hopefully not, for their sake. Any thoughts before we move on? It's pretty standard.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything too surprising here. 40. Like people, like maybe even 9 months ago would have maybe gone for like 45 plus at 800, but I think it's been seen, or people just have started to go down and down and down and see how low they can get without pushing the boundaries.
It's a good observation, because I have done the same. This is the lowest model count army I've taken to an 800-point event. So, and it's only really because, like you say, recently the trend has been to kind of take fewer, from what I've been seeing from lists that lots of top players have been taking. So that is a trend of late.
It is a very nice spot from Sam. Do you think it links into the lists that I've been seeing lately with Galadriel and Boromir taking better quality fearless troops, specifically Guard of the Fountain Court, that's kind of just pushing that model count down a little bit?
I think it's also having to pay the points for the heroes that you can do those allies with as well.
Yeah. And potentially, like, because you wouldn't usually see 104 models. So do you think that's substantially pushing the model count? Sorry, the model average up as well. So without that, it might be bang on 40 or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
But I think you are right, Sam. It's definitely like ever so slightly lower than it would have been 6 months ago.
Yeah. No, for sure. I do agree. Okay, that's going to do it for the model count. So we usually have some other statistics as well, but blame Ali King. Moving on, we have our first list that we are going to be taking a look at. So for the audio listener, it is a Serpent Horde and Far Harad alliance, which is led by Suladan. He's on his horse. He's leading 5 Haradrim warriors with bow, 3 with bow and spear, 5 Serpent Guard, and 2 Watchers of Kana with twin blades. Then he has the Betrayer on horse leading another 4 warriors with bow, 3 with bow and spear, another 5 Serpent Guard, and 2 more Watchers of Kana with twin blades. A Haradrim chieftain on horse leading 2 Serpent Riders. And then from Far Harad, he's Aladdin Mahud King on camel with shield and spear, 5 Mahud warriors with the blowpipes, another 5 with the blowpipes and spears, and then 3 raiders with blowpipes and war spears. So 48 models, 15 actual bows, but then he's got all the blowpipes as well. What do we think of this one?
Oh, this is pretty nasty. Devil emoji.
Yeah, I saw this. I was like, yeah, this is a nice list.
This is a Dragon Emperor with the drums, wet dream to run into, and my Witch King Sully's list nightmare.
I played a very similar list to this with Witch King Sully at lower points versus this particular person.
And I believe you got annihilated.
I did.
Where what do we think this loses to? Is it completely scenario dependent on playing a scenario that it is massively disadvantage, gives you a massive disadvantage to sit back and shoot? Do you think that's the only weakness?
Well, it's everything's D4 apart from the Mahud Warband. So obviously it is very static. As just a force in general.
Yeah.
If you said, oh, my list has Suladan, Betrayer, Haradrim Chieftain, and a Mahud King, I would have thought it had more than 48 models. Like 48 with all D4. How many might it have? 2, 4, 6, 9. Oh, it totally says it there. Lol. Me and I'm not reading the stats. I just feel like I would expect more models from this as a list. I don't know if that's just me, because I don't know if it's because I don't, haven't used Farharad or whatever, or this isn't exactly the most common thing to see.
I think it could be a couple of things. I think you can go more spam and not take the Betrayer. I think I've seen Serpent Horde Farhad lists where you don't take the Betrayer and you just go more spam. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, if he removed the Betrayer, as you said, he would be up probably 60 models.
Mm.
Yeah. But then I think also you can take the Betrayer, but then like not include the Chieftain, for example, and flesh out the warbands that way. It's got a fair amount of like cav as well. Obviously, if he went less than that, but he wants the camels. But there are ways that you get a bit higher.
The heroes in this list are quite expensive collectively, because they're all good, like sort of high mid-tier heroes.
Yeah.
Is the Mahud King 100 points?
It's 100. Haradrim Chieftain is, I don't know what, 75 or something.
With the horse, I think he is
maybe 70 or 60.
70, yeah.
Betrayer, 130, and then so down 115. So he's got five cav plus heroes. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 cav. 3 of those being camels. He's actually got.
He's not horse. Sorry, go on, Ash.
I was just going to say he hasn't got that much fight 4 either.
The guard, 14.
The Mahud are all fight 3, so he's effectively got
14 warriors.
Yeah, and the Watchers of Kana are great, but they're also D3, so they win like against D6. They win, probably don't kill, but if they lose, they almost definitely die. So
I just wouldn't be surprised if this played, this won, say, first 2 games, whatever, and then you play against a Witch King Suladan in one that, you say if you get 1 turn of shooting or whatever, like you could just have a bad turn with the 15 bows.
Yeah.
15 at 800 for Serpent Horde is low. Obviously, you have Mahud Warriors there with blowpipes.
I paid you at Bista and at 600, or was it 650? And you have what, like 22 or something? 23?
Yeah, so at 650, I had.
600.
Was it 600? No, 600.
Right, Bista was 600. Yeah, you're right, Sam. It was like 22, and then the 3 heroes all had bows. So
yeah, I feel like if you just played D6 at this, like if you just played against D6 and you had a bad turn in shooting, with only 48 models at D4, you could just be absolutely shredded. And because you're low courage,
you're definitely
You really need your shooting to do a lot. Obviously, you'd hope that it would.
You do have though
get that game where I don't know.
Yeah,
I think even if the shooting, again, this is obviously the one list that has Saladin as the leader, which, like the Mahud King on Camel is a great killing piece, and also Saladin is a great killing piece, but you can't afford to whiff with Saladin in this list, whereas you can when he's not your leader. I do. To be fair, if this list does get to shoot you, you're having a bad day.
Like, how many does this kill at D6 or D5 at strength 2?
So the 15 bows, you'd hit 7.5.
Kill
So
1.
you kill 1, and then you re-roll and kill 2. And then if you march towards it, they'd kill 2 again. And then they'd get 1 round of blowpipes, which would be, they'd maybe kill 7 D6 models, which if they're all black numbs is bad. But if it's like an Arnold list where, depending on what Jake's running, if he has, 50 D6 Arnold boys, he doesn't care. He's just going to go walk into this and it dies.
Like, it obviously is good as a list. I just think it just has the risk of having a bad game of shooting, not rolling enough to kill sixes when it comes to D6 models, and then your line just gets absolutely rinsed in combat.
Yeah, I agree. I think at 800, I would have expected a bit of a high model count and more shooting for a 7 horde list.
Yeah.
The courage I think would be a problem as well. You courage 3, down to courage 2 with Harbinger.
Do we think the Mahud King is actually a detriment, and that if he'd have just filled out Haradrim Chief 12 and then another Haradrim Chief 12 and got,
I think so, yeah.
Maybe 25, even 30 bows?
No, I don't mind the king. It gives you fearless.
Yeah, but I don't really like the Mahud guys. I don't think they're very good for their points. The King's really good, but the troops are average at best.
I don't mind it. I think I think Dewey will do well with this.
But if it comes up against a list who just like outshoots him, then that's a problem as well.
I wonder how many of the Mordors have Shadow Lord. I think that's a thing. I mean, you could say not many because there's been less assault. So why is people taking it? It's fallen out of flavor.
I'm not sure I saw any.
Fallen out of flavor.
Me when I fall out of flavor. Reaction time.
Fallen out of flavor.
Yeah, I don't think I saw any.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got mixed. I'll be intrigued to see how Dewey does with it.
I don't think Dewey will win the event with this list.
Oh, neither. But
it's too flimsy.
He could podium with this, I think. Potentially, he'd have to have no bad games of shooting, and he'd be good. But
it's also a very good show, sort of, because obviously most of sort of the very regular players in the GBHL this year at hundreds are all going to be going to the finale, taking probably their favorite or most used lists this year. So, it's going to be a lot of meta stuff there and really, really good lists and players. So it's going to be good to see kind of which lists, do well versus others and that sort of thing. We should be able to take a fair amount away from the event, I think.
When I've spoken to Dewey, especially after the Pompey event, he was, reveling in the fact that he annihilated Elliot's Witch King Sully, which was, exactly the same as mine.
I got him back at our next meeting at GBHL, don't you?
But he was talking about how this list is designed to do really well against Black Numenorians because you just shoot them all and they shoot them all to death. And then you've got Fearless and you've also got Fight 4. I think it does do that well. I think the 4 Dragon Emperors could be a big problem for it. It doesn't want to play Dragon Emperor. It can also get outshot, because again, as Vince said, 15 bows is what list would outshoot this?
Well, there's that much that outshoots it, is there?
James puts his hand up like.
Yeah, anything with blinding light. I mean,
anything with blinded light just destroys this list.
Yeah.
Anyone who's got a kid
coming in
is
hard.
winning this game.
15 bows isn't actually that much in 800.
How many bows do you have, James?
I think I've got 11.
Yeah, 11 bows with blinding light that are strength 3.
They're not all
They're,
strength.
they're not all strength 3, but I think 8 of them are, and I rerolled to hit as well. So
Even strength 2 still 5s.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, I was on about the strength 3 helps to win the Mahood also.
Yeah.
See.
But yeah, a Galadriel, a Lothlorien list, as we've seen, was there 3 Galadriels, 4 Galadriels,
4, yeah.
4 Galadriels, Céardans. They definitely outshoot this.
Assault.
Yeah, that's true. Forgot about assault. That
Just kill everything
reaction.
on 4s.
Even both Lothlorien and thingy.
Assault on Loth, destroys this.
I
Assault on
just,
Helm's
yeah,
Deep.
I can't, unless Dewey gets lucky, I mean, with matchups, but I can't see a world where he doesn't play a list that is just bad for him inherently, and he just has a tough time.
Yeah, it's bound to happen over the event at some point. Okay, so that is going to do it for the Serpent Horde Farhad list from Dewey. Moving on, we have a Lothlorien Erebor Reclaimed alliance, which is led, I believe, by Thorin on Goat with Orcrist from Erebor Reclaimed. He's leading 8 Iron Hills Dwarves with Shield and 2 more with Crossbow and Spear. Then also from Erebor Reclaimed, he's allied in Biffa with 6 more Iron Hills with Shield, 2 with Crossbow, and one with Crossbow and Spear. And then from Lothlorien, he's allied in Galadriel, leading 6 Galadriel Warriors with Shield Spear, 2 with Bow and Spear, 1 with Banner, Spear and Shield, 1 Knight with Bow and Shield, 4 Guard of the Galadriel Court, 2 Wood Elf Warriors with Bow and Spear, and a Wood Elf Sentinel. So it's 40 models on the nose, 800 points, 11 bows. What do we think?
Would we say that this list outshoots Dewey's because it's got blinding light?
Yes.
And even the 3 crossbows.
D8 at the front.
they stick
hazarded
D8
three
at the front.
Crossbows. Yeah.
Is this Rawson's, Elliot?
I don't want to reveal that immediately.
I think it is. I feel
You knew that was the case before you.
Yeah, I feel like it's not that I know it, but I kind of 90% sure it is.
I totally was thinking it was Adams, to be honest, but
Adam's
Adam.
not going to
No, he's
the
not
event.
well,
This is
that's the sort of thing I thought Adam would have taken.
this is Rawson's. He's fed up of taking Galadriel and getting contest, so he's put Thorin as the leader, although Galadriel is a
Did I give it away?
Oh, Sam has used his sneaky
Inspector
knowledge.
Grattan.
Inspector
And-
Grattan.
he's taken Thorin and Biffa at Imps and won it. So
Yes, this is Jake Rawson's list.
Oh,
No Arnold.
only I guess you do have the free move with Biffa, but you have to get it off.
which is not as easy as it seems.
But
Like-
you put him in like a combat with Thorin, for example, and you can spend might on it, right? On the wound roll.
Just use all your might to get that 1 wound.
So he will get it off. He'll get it off.
No, Biffa's good. Biffa's really good.
It's only really the one combat hero, I guess, is my biggest thing that jumps out.
And also a Black Dart ruins Thorin because then he kills 1, maybe 2 models.
And Sam, sorry, obviously I played your Thorin the other day, but he does or doesn't banner himself.
He does. Not in this list. No, he's actually.
Yeah, this is yellow, so no.
So like he's only 4 dice on the charge. Yes, there's the other banner, but like he can easily fluff and just
Even with 5 dice, mate, as we found out, it can be. Yeah,
even with 8 to 11 dice, even.
yeah, it can be pretty scary. So, foreshadowing.
Banner number 2.
Batteret 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, Thorin can very easily just flop.
He's also only a 1 fate leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adriel can kind of protect him, sort of, and help. But
I'm actually not sure about this list from Rawson.
It's only got 1 cab as well, right?
yeah,
1 night.
It's quite
Wait,
stationary.
No,
you said he made Thorin the leader.
yes, I'm almost positive. But let me double check. But
Why?
Is that no March as well?
looks
Yeah.
like March. Yeah.
Why would you not make Galadriel the leader?
It's because I think he's just had because he's used Lothlorien playing contests. He's just like
Yeah, I know, but
Imagine last
every other
game-
scenario, Galadriel's a better leader.
Imagine last game against Farmer to win the event.
Oh no!
Honor.
And he's Tessie champions. And he's got Galadriel as his leader. He will cry.
I think you bite the bullet. I think you have Galadriel as their leader.
You
Like,
have
it's 1 in
to.
18.
I'm not sure you do though.
Oh, I mean, it's a third, sorry, because it'll be done by Paul.
Yes,
but you know,
yeah.
I mean,
Like-
Jake's
This is the one event where you don't. Because
Why?
third chance to essentially have the league thrown out the window.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not.
2/3 of the time you're winning though.
yeah,
Yeah.
true that.
30.
He's obviously betting on himself to be good enough to still win those other games with Thorin as the leader, rather than having the odds really stacked against him
But
It's-
Thorin's not a
Jenna,
bad leader though.
in that one game. Yeah,
Having Thorin as your leader with one fate, no resistant to magic. You know that the meta is heavily, got
He's
magic
just
in it.
he's so vulnerable.
He's so vulnerable.
what
Yeah,
he would be.
He's your only killing power in this list as well. I mean, the
Think-
dwarfs being strength 4 with backed up by the elves is a very strong battle line. But then only having a tiny 3-inch banner,
A tiny 3-inch back. I mean, yeah,
tiny
he's-
3-inch banner.
I'd say
Sam.
3 inches is pretty average.
Maybe for you, James.
I
But
think
Let me
it's
react
just-
to that.
I think it's maybe putting a fair amount of stock into how much Galadriel will be able to potentially save him from any magic from his opponents. But Sam, as we found out in our game,
Has he also lost the resistance to magic?
Hell yeah.
Oh,
but yeah, Sam, as we found out in our game recently, like Galadriel can just completely
Galadriel can just whiff. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, and he could have that happen in 1 or 2 games and just lose them because of it.
I
This just doesn't feel like a league winning list to me. That's
I
all.
don't think it's it. Yeah, I don't know.
This isn't the one.
I think I agree with you there, Vince.
I mean, it is still a D8 or D7 front line at 5/5. It isn't gonna die very easily. It does have some good qualities about it. I think
It is. It's still very good. It's still good. Yes.
Yeah,
but
only one cav as well. It's just-
he's
Do you
got
think-
quite 6 supports as well to slow down the opponent's killing power. He still hit 40 models while having a very elite army with a sentinel. It's
But we know
I'm not-
the meta is Witch King, and I don't think the Witch King is scared of almost any of this.
Mm.
Do you think this could defeat a Witch King Sully list?
Ashley.
like he needed to design a list that beats like Farmer's list, which is going to be like Witch King Sully, right? And it's just an odd choice that he'd go for this. He thinks that this would beat it.
Well, Elliot knows what Farmer's list is, and I wouldn't be shocked if Farmer didn't take Witch King Sally and took the Gandalf, Thorin, Legolas captain from thingy.
Really?
Because he took that to Poland.
Farmer pulls out an unbelievably nervous watcher combo for the GBHL finale. I'll buy that
Joke.
man a beer.
Nah, he's bringing Gandalf the White.
This list, I tell you what, this list really doesn't want to play 108 goblins. Recon, that's for sure.
Well, no one wants to play that at Recon.
I think it's the no march. I think, and
It's
the
so
no
slow.
march, one cav. That's the thing.
It doesn't split up well. Yeah,
One
divide and
cav and
conquer.
it's so slow.
Divide and conquer wouldn't be good for it. And most of the moving scenarios would be difficult.
Again, I'm just intrigued to see how this does. To be honest,
Yeah,
Okay.
Witch King just like darts, Thorin's go, and then that's it. It's just kind of him neutralized, isn't it? Really.
you just have to hope the line wins. But
But I don't think the line does win though, because if you sling Saladin who will strike, Shagrat who will strike, or you just do kill those dwarfs.
yeah, I don't know.
Aren't we always comparing other lists though into how good they would be into dwarves, because dwarves are very hard to kill for strength 4 heroes. Obviously, yeah, Witch King Sully might have Shagrat, so that's maybe the outlier. But unless you have sort of strength 5 heroes, you know, it might not be that easy to just run into it and strike, you know, and kill them.
Yeah, you don't. But
He's
I
got
mean,
6 supports there as well. Like,
yeah, if you, I mean, if you have to go in and strike anyway, so as long as you don't roll a 1, which you know happens 1 in 6 times.
well, yeah.
I just it's the lack of might. I mean, I guess you really need to get Biffa's ability off, because if you can't get him in a position, or if he gets transfixed and he can't do it, your might is getting drained very quickly.
Yeah.
And you need to keep that might on Thorin to win and to keep the kills ticking over.
Yeah, I do think if this plays Witch King Sully and Thorin just does nothing, then this list probably does nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that particular matchup, that is like really terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So,
James, why are you snoozing, huh? Why are you snoozing like that, huh?
what's your take,
Oh,
John?
isn't that
Hey, come on. Join the conversation.
I think Jake Wilson has just got the league right here, and he's just gone, and he's just thrown it away.
I get it.
Clip it.
Wait,
Love
James, what has he done again? Sorry, what was the action?
I don't have a throwing reaction that quickly.
Oh,
Where's my tap reaction? Where's my tap?
Alright.
Thing is though, I don't know if the line totally might do pretty well. Like
No
you can't really count out 5 dwarfs.
I don't know, Jake, mate. I
Lose.
think you shit the bed here.
The Gollum's and not holding. I'm joking. So
thing is, it definitely isn't bad. Like, it is a really strong list.
It's just not
It's
like
not
it's just,
finale winning.
It's
Yeah.
not going to be good against what Farmer's likely going to bring. That's just what I think. I don't know.
Again, like, also Assault on Helm's Deep isn't really scared of it, because although it's got blinding light, it doesn't have any
Shoot through it.
march. Like, this doesn't outshoot Assault on Helm's Deep. It
Yeah,
still
someone
has
just shoots through blinding light. Doesn't care
yeah,
that
Assault
much.
just shoots through blinding light. I mean, you've also got a bomb as well. Like, the bomb,
a bomb.
you might
Yeah, only one.
You might
Sweet
even have
sauce.
2 bombs. Like, 2 bombs delete Thorin.
Yeah,
and then
he's only got one
delete
fate.
all the dwarves.
He's only got one fate. Just kill Thorin
There's
straight
kind
away.
of
AOL
transfix the guy at the bomb, but
But there's 2 though,
That's why you
yeah.
got 2.
potentially.
Galadriel will just get,
Yeah. keeping
to the face.
one out of the way. I don't know. Hitting
I
on
don't think this
politics-
has a good time against Assault on Helm's Deep. I don't think it has a good time against Assault on Lothlorien. Like an Assault on Lothlorien list with 60 models just swarms around it, and the dwarfs, +1, tag the guys at the back, does a number on it. Thorin's getting transfixed by Musga and the Shamans.
Yeah, by really cheap magic
Yeah,
rerolls. Yeah.
I mean, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see.
Might win the
think
finale, and then we will have to review.
if Jake wins the finale, we'll all look very stupid, and we'll have to take our hats off to Jake.
We will
100%. Yeah.
have him on the review episode. We haven't done a review episode for an event in 6 months or so. So
Well, we're gonna do tantalizing foreshadowing for the viewers. We're gonna do a GBHL 2023 season review, which could go on for maybe over 8 hours. Who knows?
So if anyone has any suggestions for the types of things that they would like to see in a season review episode, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, that's true. Would you like it to be live streamed?
I would yeah.
But yeah, let's see how this does in our season review, because obviously, if Jake wins, he'll win
Talk
the
about
league, and we'll be like, we were all big dumb stinky idiot heads.
especially Ashley. Okay, so moving on, we are going to look at a Minas Tirith Fiefdoms and Rohan alliance, which is led by Forlong the Fat on horse from Fiefdoms, who is leading 10 men-at-arms and 5 Blackroot Vale archers with spear. Then from Minas Tirith, he has allied in Hurin on horse and 15 Guard of the Fountain Court with shield. And then from the Rohan contingent, he has allied in Thairdred on horse, one rider of Rohan, 5 Royal Guard on foot, another Royal Guard on foot with banner, and 4 Rohan outriders. And then he also has Derwine on horse, leading 1 rider of Rohan. So it's 46 models, 11 bows, and 12 might. What do we think?
Man, this
This
is
is
arse cheeks.
well interesting.
This is
Why is
my
Dale
man.
Wine in the list? What?
Yeah, why is saying Derwine and no Theoden? That's
Yeah.
very weird.
Why would you not just take Durnhelm?
What?
James, this man fed you so many beers, all right? You can't speak bad about him.
Is
Yeah.
this
True,
the
but
hero?
This is our
David
main, this is
Clubley.
our main man. All right? You got to feed him. He fed you so many brew dogs, all right?
Whose list is this?
Mr. Clubley's.
Yeah, so what is everyone's thinking behind Mr. Clubley's interesting
He's
list?
he's wholeheartedly jumped on the Guard of the Fountain Court bandwagon.
Yeah.
Smacking
Yeah.
15 of those into a list
Hurin
is
and
gonna make your front line pack
Good.
a big punch.
Oh, I
Yeah,
take it the Royal Guard are on horses.
they're not on horse.
They're not on horse.
No.
4 outriders.
What
That's
does-
bold.
What does Dale Wine do again?
So you get a free combat if you're in 12 inches of Theoden, but there's no Theoden. So
Can he strike?
he's just a bodyguard striker.
I think he's a
So he
cheap.
can strike.
Yeah, he's a cheap fight 5 3-might striker. Well,
Fight 5. Okay.
Why wouldn't you take Derwine and Dernhelm? Yeah.
Isn't Durnhelm a bit?
I
more-
think if we just take this back to the 2 lists we've just looked at. Dewey's list probably likes this matchup if it can shoot. If it can't shoot, those 4 heroes go in and tear it to pieces. And the same with Jake's list as well. You charge Hurin, Theodred, Dalewine in. If you strike and you just take out loads of dwarfs, and Galadriel can't deal with all of them at the same time. Forlong is also a mighty killing hero. Strike 5 with a lance, fight 5. He doesn't have strike, which is, a little bit of a setback. But he is an infantry. He is an infantry.
He is only
killer.
3 attacks on the charge, though. So I think he'll be using him very sparingly, depending on the matchup, of course. But obviously,
Yeah.
So
I think it's just the quad mounted hero threat
yeah, with the D7 front line.
with the D7 bodyguard front line.
Yeah, it is definitely a very odd kind of makeup of the Rohan contingent, though.
This
Like,
is all green though, isn't it?
the Royal Guard on foot.
Yeah.
You don't use
So you
is
get
Fiefdoms green with Rohan. Yeah.
you get the +1 courage and all the Guard of Fountain Court, potentially more likely to be used because Forlong could die.
Now, no, they are bodyguard only to Hurin, though, right? It's
Yeah.
from
Ooh.
the faction.
Fair enough.
I'm not here knowing my shit. So
This is why you're the host. The
Depending
host with the
on the-
most.
depending on the matchup, obviously, like if it's Witch King Sully, then you need that fearless, so you're going to be more careful with Hurin, which obviously
Yeah.
that lowers the killing potential of the list because then you've got Hurin and Forlong who you've got to be very careful with all the magic. But if you're not playing against a terror list, then that opens things up.
Totally does.
I just think it's super weird. So you're taking Fountain Court with no Boromir. You're taking like Fiefdoms with no Imrahil, and you're taking
Theoden.
Rohan with no Theoden.
I'm sure he knows it isn't the most optimal thing. I wonder what his choice
Yeah,
is. Whether he
It
just
feels like a fun list to me.
have fun with it, or I'm not sure if he's used it in practice games or anything. Maybe I should have asked him because I thought there would be some interesting views on it. So, but I didn't.
What about a quick change I can see to this is if you drop Dalewine and then swapped Forlong for Imrahil, do we think that would have been better?
I mean, Imrahil instantly makes fiefdoms better.
Because then you get the fight 5, then you get a
Yeah,
hero
it's
of
got no
legend.
fight 5 in this list.
Yeah,
I mean,
getting the banner for all the pikes as well.
getting a banner for all the pikes, I think, and you'd also, I don't think you'd lose any models.
There must be a reason he's explicitly chosen Forlong over Imrahil. So
I think it's to get the double fight 5 cav, like, and also you get 6 might or 5 might instead of 3. The gimmick here is you've got 4 mounted heroes that are all really killy. You've got 15 guard, they're D7 and bodyguard, and you've got, you know, a decent amount of shooting. I think
Yeah, I mean, it's
you know,
a fun list, but just probably not optimal. That's all.
Well, so Dernhelm is very similar in points. They're literally, Derwine's more expensive. Yeah, I would have definitely taken Dernhelm personally.
Yeah.
Dernhelm's got an extra attack, an extra will, fate, resistance to magic.
Yeah. And so Derwine on horse is 85. Dernhelm with throwing spears on horse is only 80. So it's quite much cheaper.
yeah,
Dernhelm's a lot
that's
silly.
that's a bad choice because the Dernhelm model is so broken.
Yeah.
Dernhelm's amazing. 3 attacks.
I mean, bodyguard, yeah, maybe he's, really wanting to lean into sort of fearless. He's got the royal guard on foot. Maybe he just wants everything to be fearless. I don't know.
I still kind of stick with my initial edit, which is you just, take out Derwine and Forlong and have Imrahil instead. But David Clubley, let us know in the comments why we are wrong and you are so right.
He is an avid listener of the podcast, so I'm sure he will be down there in the comments. Let us know what you think, Mr. Clubbers. Okay, moving on. We have a Halls of Thranduil, Erebor Reclaimed, and Survivors of Lake Town.
Go on, Sam,
right.
do a
I am.
victory
I've
lap.
called it.
Do a victory
I've
lap.
absolutely called it.
Sam Grattan, as is Junk Out. So for the audio listener, it is led by Thorin on goat again with Orcrist from Erebor Reclaimed, who is leading 13 Iron Hills with Shield. Then from Survivors of Lake Town, he's allied in Gandalf the Ground Horse with 6 Lake Town Militia with Bone Spear and just 1 standard Lake Town Militia. And then he has a Lake Town Militia Captain leading 9 Lake Town Militia with Spear. And then from Halls of Thranduil, he's allied in Leggy on Horse, 2 Mirkwood Elves with Bow and Glaive, 1 with Banner and Glaive, and 2 Mirkwood Cavalry with Shield for 38 models. This is what we were talking about earlier with these fairly lower model count lists for 800 points, which is obviously quite high. 9 bows, 11 might. Who wants to go first?
Go on, let's let Sam run wild.
Yeah, obviously. Farmer's taken this with 40 models to Scotland and won. I do remember him saying that he thinks he could get away with going to 38 and taking Orcrist, because I don't think he had Orcrist in the previous list.
I wouldn't be doing myself justice if I didn't say at this point that we did review his list in race, which is on our channel. If anyone wants to, because I was like, did we review? Because I was choosing on whether to include this or not, but we haven't actually reviewed it in one of our previews yet, but we did on the race. Anyway, carry on.
Was it called the race, Elliot? Is it called the race?
The race, yeah.
The race.
It is the auto playing channel video on our channel. So,
as in, like they're racing against each other to win the league.
Something, yeah. It's all explained. Yeah.
All right, yeah. Go have a watch, guys. That'd be a really good one to watch.
Good plug. Thanks, folks.
So, yeah, this is. I mean, I basically took this to Stirling and enjoyed it. You do obviously have the classic Lake Town squishy underbelly, and you don't have Fearless with the dwarfs, but you do have Thorin to, if his goat survives, depending on what you're playing. Legolas can be great in some scenarios, not auto win you, but if he rolls well in certain things, it's incredibly good. He can also just whiff. So depending on, he might have a bad game with Legolas. Obviously, he can go to combat as well, 3 attacks, and just kill stuff.
What happens when you have a bad game with Legolas, Sam?
You kill the rest of the army, and then you don't 2+ anything because you roll to ones.
That's why you lose.
It's got March. 38 models is what I had at Sterling, so I don't hate that. I thought it was enough. Depending on the mission, this will potentially struggle against certain armies. Instantly, what comes to mind is, is when I played Michael at Sterling with Destroy Spies with AOL, and you instantly have 38 models compared to 63, and you're really on the back foot from the start trying to figure out where to go where. Because you need to stay with everything within Gandalf the Grey, otherwise you need the blinding light essentially. And you have to hope Gandalf actually does stuff and is a good model for once in the life. Which, I mean, he totally can be. But he's a bit of a toss-up. He can be really, really great, and he can also be really mediocre. I personally quite like it. Got banner, got 2 cav, which is good. 2 elf bows, glaives as well for 5 spear supports with the roll off. I don't mind it.
I'm really surprised that he's bringing this. And also, it's as if like Jake and Dave they've almost tried to be a little bit too clever. I don't know. Like I would have, if it was me, I would probably just bring like what I'm most familiar with. Just
I think maybe
bring your strongest list.
I think maybe the thing with like Farmer, for example, is that if he brings, say, Witch King Sully, for example, which he's used a lot this year, is that he might be thinking there's lots of people who are maybe going to be bringing things to counter Witch King Sully. And then if he faces that in a pivotal game, then, he's going to win.
I don't know though, because the reason why it's so good is like, it's not easy to counter that list. That list is just all round for tournaments. I think people have tried to counter it, but it hasn't really worked. It's still so good in tournaments.
I'm not necessarily scared to play Farmer's list or Jake's list. I think the
man who is 3rd in the league speaks.
Yeah, I do think that the Witch King Sully list that Farmer would have, would have been better. The Lake Town underbelly, as Sam has talked about previously, is very real, and it is difficult to kill dwarfs, but it's not impossible. And then you just start murdering Lake Town. I would like to give Farmer huge props for converting 13 Iron Hills dwarfs to only have shields, to save 13 points, to then be able to give himself, Orcrist or another 2 dudes. That takes dedication.
Did you say it's tappable?
It is pretty lemon. 9 bows, but then I guess he's got Gandalf.
And as Sam said, he's heavily relying on Gandalf to just do the business. If he doesn't, it's
the business
can be problematic.
Gandalf can whiff. Leggy can also whiff. It's not like they're not as reliable as I would have expected Farmer to want to take to the most pivotal tournament of the entire season.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is the last tournament of the season. Like, it's just an odd choice to me. Like,
I guess I hadn't really thought
surprised.
I guess I hadn't thought of it from that POV that this is the tournament that he has to take what he thinks is going to give him the best chance to win. And this is
like the league comes down to this weekend out of Farmer and Rawson, and they've both. I think Vince has probably hit the mark by saying they're both sort of overthinking
Maybe
what everyone else is taking, or
should
I
have
don't know.
just taken Arnor with a shit ton of models.
I mean,
Thing is, though, like this, he has won 100 with this previously. He took it to Poland and they came second.
yeah.
He's obviously feeling good about it.
If he's on a hot streak, because I know Farmer was in like a trying to get out of a trough of events of not winning, and obviously clearly he's up and he's winning and playing really well with this list, as Sam just said. So maybe he thinks keep running while the fire's hot, or whatever the saying is.
he definitely does rate this list. Keep running whilst the fire's hot.
That has got to be a reaction there. That has got to be a reaction from the viewers.
It's
Keep running while the fire's hot.
It's the Champions League final. You just run your best starting 11. Like,
it's time to break out a new thing. Yeah, maybe not. I
don't like
just a new thing.
Try anything fancy. I think.
What do we think this has a bad matchup against?
It comes down to mission. It's very all round. But
I reckon a Dragon Emperor would nicely take this down.
Yeah, as a Dragon Emperor player, am I that worried about that? Probably not.
Especially a Dragon.
You played a harder counter to Dragon Emperor in the upcoming battle.
Yeah, like Gandalf. What does Gandalf really do against my list? I'm not really that worried about Gandalf. Leggy, again, doesn't really net that much against Emperor. Against my particular version, which we'll be looking at in a moment, Leggy probably is pretty good. But against your standard sort of Dragon Emperor, Ratabi, Brawgear, Leggy doesn't really do that much. The dwarves.
And how many can you get? Can you get the full 48 models with?
Yes, yeah. If you take Emperor, Ratabi, Brawgear, you get 48 models. So
and that is 48 models with a drum.
At 5/5. Yeah.
Yikes.
So, and
that's going to really hurt this.
The dwarves would die to weight of dice.
And that's precisely the point. They would. And also the 5/5 means, because he's only got 3 5/5 models. Yeah, 48.
Yeah. And
unless it's assassination and they can, blast Brawgear to death and snipe Brawgear, the Dragon Emperor does really well against this.
Brawgear's 2 runes, 2 fate, Leggy, and like the one combat hero, obviously you can have Leggy in combat if you really want, but the free combat from Thorin, as viewers may find out in an upcoming bat rep, is not enough really against the Emperor.
You can also get the Emperor or Ratabi into Thorin, and then that stops him for ages.
Yeah.
What about, so again, I'm going to go back to the assaults. Assault on Helm's Deep, I think it has a really good time against this as well. I think it's because of the fact it's got so few models. You shoot through the blinding light, as Vince has said. You then bomb it half to death, and
you blow up the list.
You literally blow up the list.
It's no longer
like
you can't kill
Gandalf's
the
got no good targets, right?
You can kill the flaming brand. You are
you
right.
2 plus you 2 plus the flaming brand, and then transfix.
Yeah, but then he rolls a 6 on his fury, and also you can detonate it just with regular dudes. It's just a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, but that's a way to only hitting on a 6 with the ballista. You do have the might point.
But each bomb team's got 3 flaming brands. So, yeah, even if you transfix the berserker, I mean,
you just take as many courage tests as necessary, because if you
you just have to pass the courage
test. Take
test
out 10 Uruks, but you take out 7 dwarfs, you've won. That trade is great. And then moving on to the next assault on Lothlorien, again, as Sam we have primary evidence for, you have a really bad day. Because what happens when you play assault on Lothlorien, Sam?
destroy supplies, it's not great. I did
But
only
probably-
lose. I did only lose last turn, to be fair, but
Yeah, that's because you're a better player than Farmer.
it's still not great. Like it's 63 models compared to 38. You don't shoot them because you can't. They kill.
Don't shoot them because you got.
Yeah, you don't shoot them because you literally physically can't, and they still kill models. So you're blinding light with. I think Michael had maybe more than maybe 18 blows or something.
It's the fact that you get +1 to wound, like the dwarfs being D8 in a shield wall, pretty tasty. But then you add a +1 to wound to that, and you're effectively shooting. You move anyway because you got blinding light up, so your goblin army becomes more. It's already got lots of movability, but you can just then move half without penalty, and also the throwing weapon. I think it's got too few models. Is kind of my main issue.
I feel like it's sort of looking at Rawson's list, for example, it has less models than Rawson's list. And we were saying that Rawson's was on the lower side for how elite it was, but this is even less elite.
Let's jump back into the race and compare what we think these two lists in a head-to-head matchup, how they'd go down.
Well, I think Rawson's list is different because Rawson's list doesn't have March, has less might. I mean, depending on how you look at it, potentially an arguably less versatile caster, maybe better for 130 points, but less versatile.
But this list has 16 D5 models that are fight 2.
Yes.
D4 models that are fight 2.
4, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's 2 fewer models. So yes, he's invested more in the heroes. He gains certain things for doing that. But yeah, if we were thinking it could be an issue if the dwarves die for Rawson's list, but if they die in this list,
it's much worse.
It's really bad.
Oh yeah. As a person that has taken Iron Hill's Dwarf Frontline with Lake Town Underbelly for the whole year, I can attest that your dwarf dying really fast is auto losing unbelievably amount. It's really, really, really bad. The
Can we get
courage
a reaction, please? Someone?
I'll do a reaction. Me when it's bad.
Me when it's really, really, really bad.
Me when it's really, 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 really
God, if you
bad.
are watching on YouTube right now, you're getting such an epic
Yeah,
experience.
this is when it's really, really,
I've
really
been
bad.
slacking off on the reactions though, so please.
It's fucking flames. Like you do have against a terror list, Courage 3 with Harbinger is still failable, pretty.
That is. Yes, Sam. I wanted to make that point. I wanted to make that point earlier.
Yes,
I completely forgot. You
But
brought it back up to me.
Yeah, I've taken this against Ash, and I remember we played Captain Control and I priority. Ash didn't call a move, and I think I failed maybe 75% of my test with dwarfs to charge back down. And it's
Because
like,
they're only Courage 3.
well,
so
Courage
it's
4
like-
down to 3. Yeah.
Yeah, Courage 4 down to 3, which is, I think, as our team statistician, James Goebel, would be able to tell you, is like almost 55-45 on a 7. Is that right?
Sound like that, mate.
So you're the dwarf.
Thanks, Stats.
Thanks, James. It's like that meme, isn't it? Of statisticians be like, that may happen.
Great contribution to the episode, James. Love it.
Yeah, I'm feeling tired today, boys.
Thanks, my guy.
So yeah, Witch King Sully. We know there's 9 Witch Kings, and we know there's 5 Sullivans that aren't leaders, which we can deduce might mean there's 5 Witch King Sully lists. Both of Rawson and Farmer's lists struggle to charge that, even with the dwarf front line, and Sam can vouch for that. It's difficult to charge because Courage 3 just isn't good enough. You need bodyguard, basically.
Thing is, though, I remember talking to him, and I said after the Scottish event that he won, I said, "Did you not?" Because I think he played a triple Wraith Spider Queen list with all black numbs frontline, and I said, "Did you not have trouble charging? Like, surely you just failed courage test, and then they just absolutely killed all the ones that you didn't charge, or whatever." And I think he just said that he didn't really fail many, and it's like, okay, yeah. So if you pass all of them, you're doing fine and well. But that just can't. That might not happen in 2 your games.
Won't happen
God,
against.
I'm going to Google the
Yeah.
I'm going to Google the stats right now.
Yeah. We're going to give a final word on this list to James Goebel.
Yeah. 16 D4 models. Wah. Captain, very vulnerable hero, no shield. Wah.
I have taken both of these, so I can't whack.
Sam, stop. Let him go.
So, James, you did a pretty lemon reaction for Rawson's list. Is this going to give you the same?
Nah. Farmer is closer to reaching the title.
It's you.
You think after seeing both the lists that your money would be on
Rawson's here, Farmer's like here.
Cool. But where am I?
You're like up there.
Where's James Goebel?
James Goebel is he's in their fucking heavens.
James, come down, mate. We can't hear you.
We need you back.
We're losing oxygen up here.
Get back here.
Careful.
What do we think now we've seen Farmer and Rawson's lists? The likelihood of neither of them podiuming.
I think if you would have gone to Sterling, you would have won the league.
Ash, botted out.
I literally went to hospital, lads. I was ill.
Go for hospital for a bad stomach, mate. You're a pussy.
I agree.
You should have just gone. Should have just gone to Sterling.
I had bad lamb. Shut
I
up.
should have had what I should have had is a coffee and a vape, and I'd have been fine.
Stella.
Mate, get out there. Okay.
Yeah.
I believe it was the last word to James Goebel, so we will leave it there. And we will move on to our lists. So the first one at this time is my list. So I'm taking yet again a Dragon Emperor Legion list, although it's a little bit different to the ones I've taken this year, to those who have maybe watched all of our event preview episodes. So I am taking the Dragon Emperor, of course, leading 3 Black Dragon Warriors with Shield, 11 with Pike and Shield, and 1 Cataphract. Black Dragon Cataphract with a drum. Ratabi is leading 9 Acolytes with axes. Then I'm taking 2 Dragon Knights that have identical warbands, which is a Black Dragon Warrior with shield, 3 Black Dragons with Pike and Shield, and 2 Black Dragons with Cataphracts. Why is everyone laughing?
Me and James both put a poo reaction at the same time.
I did. I saw the poo reactions, but I'm like, did someone join the call or something? I'm like, what?
Elliot, you've
what's
thrown
happened?
away your chance of winning a GBHL 100 just like that.
I was like, what happened? Well, I thought with the amount of hundreds I've got this year, am I really going to go all in on trying to win?
No, Elliot, carry on reviewing the list, and then I will actually defend you here.
Okay. So, so it's only 40 models, 0 bows, and as viewers may know, I love taking a couple Black Dragon, bowmen to go up to Courage 5 to sit on objectives. But no, I'm running a slightly different version. I've taken Brawl Gear, I think, to basically every event that I've ran Dragon Emperor at. And I thought, with the last event of the year, I'll kind of switch things up a little bit. I thought it would only be the right thing to take the Emperor, as it's my most played army this year at events. So I thought running the 2 Dragon Knights, I've wanted to run them for a while, but I didn't really want to drop Ratabi to get them, as I really like having Ratabi. So I've leaned into the lower model count sort of thing at higher points as well. It's got the Acolytes, which I really, really love. I was running a Mordor Easterlings list with Acolytes as well. So I have 9 of them painted with axes. So I was looking for an excuse to use them. So this list kind of does everything I want to do, really. I've wanted to use the Dragon Knights for a little while as well. And it's just leaned into the very elite sort of side of the Emperor Legion. This is certainly not my list. This is Ali King's list, who I slagged off a lot at the start of the episode. So thank you for the list, Ali. But yeah, he did very well with it in Poland. He's used a similar variation at other events this year. And I've thought about sort of trying out something like this. So I thought last event of the year, why not? So what do you guys think?
So I will kind of back you, Elliot, but also kind of slag you off at the same time. So be ready. Obviously, this is Ali's list, or a similar variation. And Ali has done well at 100s with this. So has Matt Light. He's podiumed 100s with a similar list, with taking spam Dragon Knights. And I think one reason for you taking this, I'm not going to put words into your mouth, but I would assume is that taking Brogyr is incredibly boring compared to taking Dragon Knights. And as you are so low down on the table, that your score isn't really gonna, change any way, shape, or form.
Sam, I need to cut you off right there. If Elliot
about the team?
wins, yeah. If
Oh,
Elliot
sorry,
wins the
I'm
event,
talking.
I mean, the
from
team. If I won 100, I'd shoot up the rankings.
No. I'm talking from an individual standpoint. You cannot physically get to Masters, which was your goal at the start of the year.
you did not have to hurt him like that.
Sorry.
This is
Trust me.
This is deep.
I've had quite a long time to accept.
You know your
that
one
reality,
goal
so-
you had for the entire season. Elliot?
Fucking
You
didn't
didn't
achieve it.
achieve that.
No,
you
no,
just failed.
No, but however,
miserably.
I do respect taking a list that is way funner and is still very good. So
That is sort of where I am. Yeah,
I
like
prefer
Brogyr,
this. I prefer this to your previous
what
one.
I've usually used. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I've used that a lot this year. I would be totally fine using that. It's why I've used it a lot this year. I'm not like against that sort of list. I will probably run that list again. I just thought last event of the year, I've been wanting to try the very hard hitting version with all the axes on the cav, a lot more cav than you'd usually take, the acolytes, the dragon knights. It's a fun variation. Anyway,
And I like that. I like the fact you've taken something that's still very good, but more fun. And obviously, Ashley Walker's going to come in here and go, oh, but the Dragon Knights against Witch King Solodan, they get Black Diamond Assassination, and they're really, really bad. Oh no, and they instantly give me a win. And
It's almost
that's
as if
fair
I
enough.
knew that when
That's
I
fair enough, because they totally do.
I was actually going to pile on to our abuse of Jake's list and say, I think that Elliot would totally beat Jake Rawson if they played with this list.
Well, yeah, he
never
would.
played Jake Rawson, so
Because there's just the number of dice that he would be rolling against Jake's list would be horrendous.
Especially with Elliot's Easterling sixes. Oh, those doors be cut through butter.
they will die. Turn one, they'll all be gone. Now, I guess I would because with the 9 acolytes, you don't have the most amount of pikes. I added in like a couple more compared to how Ali had it originally, but you're not stacking 2 pikes behind the acolytes. Obviously, they don't have phalanx as well, so you essentially have 4 dice, including the banner, to win every fight.
Oh, you've got
as you
the
would
swap weapon on the Dragon Knights on the acolytes as well.
the acolytes. Yeah, so you're still 4 dice to win the fight with the acolytes, same as you would be in the normal Easterling pipe block, including the banner. But everything is fight 4 or above in the list, which sometimes late game, once models start to die and everything, you can be left with fight 4, as in fight 3 up to fight 4 in particular combats, which could be an issue, and the lower courage as well. But everything being fight 4, courage 4 up to 5 at the minimum is a good spot to be.
Are the Dragon Knights only minor heroes?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's really cashing in on the free upgrades.
You can see that actually, the fact it says 6 out of 6, mate, on the fucking.
No, but I just hate the Lonely Knight builder, and I didn't know if it was another error.
He told you the answer to your question before you even asked it.
Well, I mean, I could see that they were 6 out of 6. So I was just, double checking.
Okay. It's really cashing in on the free Black Dragon upgrades.
I do like that aspect.
Other than the 9 acolytes, everything is getting the free upgrade.
Because
So
you make effectively the Easterling Dragon Knights are like a stoinks machine, because the more of them that you get, the more free points you can get. So Elliot, can you work out? So each of the Black Dragon upgrades is 2 points, right? So you've got quick maths, 15.
you've got 27 troops that are getting the free upgrade.
27. So Elliot is effectively playing
4
with
points for free.
almost 854. That's big from you, mate.
It's pretty good. And the Dragon Knights are obviously 3 attack heroes with the Legion reroll and the banner. You don't really need to put pikes on them that much unless it's like a really
A 5 attack foot hero.
5 killer hero. Yeah, and you've got 2 of them plus Ratabi. So the 2 Dragon Knights have Blood and Glory as well. So should be some pretty good things that you can do. And if you run one of them into a big hero and it dies, okay, might not be the end of the world if you've got another one there to try next time.
You don't even care. That's how cool they are.
Yeah. So obviously, yeah, playing something like Witch King Sully in Assassination would kind of suck, but let's hope that doesn't happen.
But playing Witch King Sully in To the Death would be very nice because you do death to me.
I would
You would play the scenario.
I guess what? How many turns would you of shooting would you get to?
You get to as long as you don't be an Elliot and leave the dragon cult acolytes in the front, so I could just point blank shoot them with dragons.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different, and it's still a good list, so I can still do well with it. But you know, we'll see how it goes.
I think you could do really well with this.
Yeah.
It's definitely strong. Again, you mentioned the 40 models being a little bit under the average. I think as long as you can get, say, 7 or 8 of the acolytes actually into combat, you'll be having a great time.
Yeah.
If you do come up against shooting that can smash them to pieces, you're going to be like, oh, because they're so expensive. You've given them the weapon swap and everything.
Yeah, it's got a lot more elite troops, and also like fight 6 heroes. If I play something like Sam's list that we used in the bat rep the other day with multiple fight 6 heroes, like that can really suck because you invest a lot of points in.
Clearly doesn't suck that much.
No. Well, I didn't use
Fuck you ruining the bloody video, huh, idiot?
I didn't use this list, so we're totally not. We're
no
totally not
watching.
revealing anything.
Fourth match.
But after using the Emperor the other day, and now thinking about using this list, you can just roll really well with the banner and just fuck shit. Like, fuck me. I was literally just like,
yes.
I was going like, right, I'm about to roll a 6, 1 dice. Oh, there it is. Okay, here's another 6, and it just happens over and over again.
I would actually like to give my tip to all aspiring MESBG players out there, and that is just say what's going to happen, and then for some reason it just always does happen. You just say, oh, I've got 5 tracker shots, I'm going to hit all 5 of these, and then you just manifest your own destiny. James is agreeing with this, and I'm going to put a thumbs up reaction to that.
The audio.
So
there are thumbs up.
Yeah, if you want to win games, just like manifest your own dice rolls.
Yep. And that's what I'll be doing with this list. But no, I'm looking forward to using it. You know, if I don't do very well, that's fine. I sort of know that I could have run a bit of a more optimal list. But I'm excited to use this. Is that a hand up, or are you?
It is. Actually, I need to use the hand up reaction so you know it's real.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Over to you, Ashley.
I just wanted to go back to passing a courage test on 3. So it is a 58.3% chance that you'll pass that courage test. So of those 13 dwarfs, if they're charging 1-on-1, 5 of them should fail. That's pretty substantial, mate.
I'm courage 3 on my front line in this list as well. So that is a relevant stat for the current.
Oh, even, yeah, there you go.
And this is slightly better. So obviously when we played, Ash, with my Witch King Sully list against your, my Emperor list against your Witch King Sully, obviously I had Broad Gear with the Fury, but I think you eventually sat-wheeled me and I didn't have it anymore. My front line was then not Black Dragons, so they're Courage 3 down to Courage 2, but here I'd be Courage 4 down to Courage 3. So that's a bit as well. So
I think you're going to have a good time with this. You're going to have fun. And I mean, hear me now, quote me later, maybe beat Jake Wilson if you play him.
We shall see. I will do my best for you. Moving on, we have James's last alliance list. Would you like to run us through it, James Goebel?
Yeah, I can.
Thank you.
So my leader is Isildur on horse with shield and ring. He is leading 15 warriors, 11 with spear and shield, 3 with bow and spear, and 1 with spear, shield, and banner. And then we have the Rivendell section, which is the twins on horse with armor and bow. And they have 2 with shield, 5 with spear and shield, 4 with bow and spear, and then our last war band is Kira. He's got 1 gold shield, 3 with spear and shield, and 2 Rivendell knights. There's 36 models, 11 bows, 10 might.
Can we quickly just ask Elliot, did we just see his boxers? Or are those, is he wearing...
Oh, I can't see Elliot.
They're pajamas, mate.
They're your pajama bottoms.
Did you see?
I thought you were wearing your best starry boxers for the pod.
These are about 20 years old, actually. Shout out.
They're full length. I like it. I was getting aroused.
I know you were.
God, we're gonna, hype James up now for only having 36 models after we just poo-pooed on Farmer and Rawswood having more
Shout
models
out
than
my
we-
Christmas tree, by the way.
I just honestly really want to play Elliot in Crush's Dreams with my 3 mounted Fight 6 heroes.
James, as I think we just established, I'm going into this event with no expectations.
And you also kill quite a lot of his troops on the way in as well, if you manage to actually hit those acolytes.
Which you won't.
It'll be great fun.
It's fine. I have blinding light.
James
Mhm.
clearly taking our advice and using one of the most lemon casters in the game.
Oh, second best caster in the
Jeez.
game, baby.
Isildur with the ring is so much fun. You know how to use him. You're gonna ruin a lot of people's days with turning
Yeah.
invisible, then spawning behind their
Yeah,
favorite.
that is
model
one of the
and
best feelings
cutting
when
its
someone
head
goes,
off.
"Oh, what? I didn't know you could do that," and then you just destroy their dreams.
And
And they're like,
then
"Oh,
not
what that seems so OP." I'm like, "Yeah."
yeah,
You
you're
proceed
not
to
wrong.
kill their one fate leader.
Yeah.
Vince, I haven't heard your opinions in a while. Why is this better than Lurtz?
I don't think this is better than Lurtz. I think Lurtz is one of the best hero models in the game for 90 points.
He is cooking.
He's way better than Kierdan. Like, think about it. 10 points more. What do you get?
What do you
Yeah.
get?
Yeah, throw it.
Vince,
Two more attacks than Kierdan.
Vince, I'm going
Kierdan's
to pause you right
unarmed.
now. I'm going to pause you right now because when we go to our shout out foreshadowing GBHL 2023 review, I want you, and I'm going to time at least a 2-minute monologue of why Lurtz is bad. I want you to prepare. Also, viewers, comment below if you would also like to hear a 2-minute at least monologue of why Vince hates Lurtz, because we all want it.
Wait, sorry. When are we starting this?
2 weeks time. You got 2 weeks to prepare.
Well, we
Oh,
start-
right. In 2 weeks' time. Okay.
2 weeks time. Vince is going to prepare a 5-minute monologue of why he hates Lurtz
Oh, can't
for the
wait.
season review. See,
I'm psyched.
So yeah, this list. Yeah, I think I really like it. It's got the 3 Fight 6 heroes, which are very strong. You've got a really solid battle line. You've got Kierdan, who gives you the terror and immune to terror. You've got good shooting. You got blinding light. It's just got everything. Last Alliance is just very all round. And I think it's good counter to. Yeah, strength 4, fight 5. It's a good counter to a lot of the meta lists. It's like probably one of the few lists that Witch King Sully would actually worry about.
Oh, I might disagree with you on that one, Vince.
My list is perfect and it
There's-
doesn't lose to anything.
No, that's not true. My list
think
loses
if-
to Assault on Helm's Deep.
I think if
That's
he
it.
had Elendil instead, he'd probably be more worried. I don't know. Isildur is, he's because he's your leader, he's susceptible to being, killed, maybe. But I think it's very solid. I like it.
Now, Sam, tell us why Eladan and Elrahir are dog shit.
So, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of Witch Kings, and I'm just gonna go in hard for the oh, phone on the floor. I'm gonna go in for the hard kill. Isildur gets compelled a lot of the time or transfix with the ring. Hashtag
What can you do when you compel Isildur with the ring?
make him put it on.
What does that then lose?
Heroic move stuff.
His freaking horse, bro. James is
Oh, yeah,
wasting 10 points.
No, but it makes him not be heroic movable, which is bad. He also can just be transfixed throughout the whole game. And then over here, if you lose move offs, which you don't have a lot of might, that's a lie, you got 10. I mean,
I got 10 might.
yeah, but that's with the 2 twins and if they're on a horse, it's only 2 attacks, right?
Yeah.
If they get charged, which they can totally whiff. And if you kill one of them, then anyone that has a brain can make the other one inept and really, really useless. So then you only have Isildur to deal with, and that shouldn't be too difficult. Kieran can obviously be sap-willed, hashtag classic Kieran stuff, have stuff done against him to remove Awe of Command, remove Awe of Dismay, remove Blinding Light, etc., etc. 30, no March is one thing. Obviously, you got
March is for losers.
Blind Light. Oh, I don't need March, but March is helpful. We all know it. And 36 models with elves is pretty good. I'll give you that. Obviously, there is
and the strength 4 as well.
Yeah, there is a case of 14 of these models are D5, or D4 or D5. So you got the Lake Town treatment. So I'm going to hold that against you. And yeah, that's it.
I was going to ask James, when was the last time you used the twins?
I remember Tears when I came 4th.
I was going to ask how it went, but you answered that question for me. So in response to Sam,
shouldn't you have actually podiumed, James?
Yeah, well, but
Or is that
yeah, so in response to Sam, every one of his points is valid if you have like 7 turns to deal with these things, but you just don't, so they don't happen like that.
Valid.
And if you've got a brain, your twins don't die because you don't just put them in a spot where they can be moved around and killed.
What, via compel? It's pretty hard to do, and they only got 2 will, mate. Ooh.
Yeah, you just trap them in a position, and then you use them when you need to.
There's nothing more fun than every single time I play James with Isildur, I go,
Yeah,
okay,
this is ridiculous, this record.
I'm gonna one dice compel Isildur with the Witch King. That's a 2. Oh no. Oh, reroll 6. Excellent, James. Muhahaha. Then James decides to throw his resistant to magic. Obviously, doesn't resist because, like, why would he? And then you move Isildur on horse 10 inches. You then put the ring on, so he dismounts almost 11 inches away from where he was. And you have a wonderful time.
Say you move him 10 inches.
Sorry, you move him 5 inches.
Wood Elf Sentinel in which case
Sam just rock memed me. Where's the rock reaction? Get the rock reaction. No, I got carried away, and in my enthusiasm, I made a severe and continuous mistake.
Lapse of judgment.
Actually, Warbear.
So yeah, you compel Isildur 5 inches away, make him put the ring on, and it's great because then he's so far away from the battle line.
Twisted
all the way.
I suppose against Witch King, you just instantly dismount first, I guess.
Like, you just hope they don't roll a 6 first time and you don't roll a 1 every time. But that's the only experience I've had, so...
Yeah, that too.
You just trap him.
But even then, you just walk through the Witch King Sully battle line so quick, it doesn't matter. Every time I play Ash, I destroy all his models, but it doesn't seem to matter for some obscure reason. Because I'm always playing a scenario where it doesn't matter.
This list has fantastic killing power. It really does. It's got the great support of Kieran. I mean, Sam said it's not too mobile, but you do have 3 Fight 6 heroes that are mounted, plus 2 of the best cavalry in the game with Rivendell Knights. So you do have a fast moving attack block that you can shift around the battlefield quite quickly.
I'm just gonna say that I didn't say it wasn't mobile, I said it didn't have March. That was all.
I apologize. I also think that you can leave the battle line on its own and move Elladan and Aura here and Isildur away, because Kieran just stands there and goes,
This is how you play the list.
You will cause terror.
Exactly.
I have Blinding Light, and also I can charge you whenever I want. I'm also Fight 5 and Strength 4. So while your battle line just goes crunch, 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 your heroes can go and deal the tasks that they need to do. Yeah, I like it, James.
Yippee.
Okay.
I think it would lose to Assault on Lothlorien.
Yeah,
I
probably.
think it would not be fun for you to play Assault on Helm's Deep. As I've said for every list.
Yeah.
On Helm's Deep is the new dwarf benchmark that we have. Apparently so. So it's a fairly standard James Goble list for those listeners, those keen listeners who have watched all of our previews this year. I'm sure there's some of you out there. So yeah, Isildur, the twins, and Círdan. Will it bring James a podium at the finale? We will see. Hopefully so, for the team score's sake. Okay, moving on. We have Jay Achaya's Mordor Isengard Alliance. Now, Jay.
What the hell?
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god! No way!
So Jay was meant to be the quote unquote guest, although he is part of the team on tonight's episode, but he could not make it. But he has pledged to be here for our Christmas episode next week. So I'm putting.
Can I just say, Vince put the poo emoji?
Did he?
Vince put the poo emoji. That's the first time I've seen him use a reaction, and he just chats.
Instantly. It's because Lurtz isn't on FLB.
Yeah, it's because Lurt's there. Yeah, exactly.
It's instant shit. So Jay knew that he was going to get criticism for this list, so he decided to bail on the podcast tonight. But he has sworn to be here for next week. So we're putting out their public record that he will be here next week. Anyway, so it is a Mordor Isengard list led by the Witch King, who is 3-15-3, who's leading 4 Moranas with Shield Spear and 4 Black Nuns. Then from Isengard, he's allied in Lurtz, leading 4 Uruks with Crossbow, another 8 with Pike, 1 with Banner and Pike, and 1 Crebain. And then he has Vrasku leading 4 Uruks with Crossbow and another 6 with Pike, and then 2 Ballistas for 41 models on the nose. Now, this isn't the first time we've done a preview and shown one of his Mordor Isengard lists. And he's, doing it again. So what do we think the reasoning is behind that?
Couldn't tell you, mate. To be honest with you.
I set you up there.
He obviously went. What was it?
I don't remember what event that was, though, that I'm speaking
I
about.
think it was Stowmarket, right? It was 750.
I think it was. Yeah. We did a preview.
I don't know how he finished in that event.
He lost to Ash.
I think he drew to Ash. Ash isn't here for that, but we move. It's just how many crossbows has it got? So
if you look at the bow count on the left hand side,
9 crossbows.
It's 9 crossbows plus Lurtz and 2 ballistas equals 12 ranged weapons.
I don't really count
2 ballistas count as bows.
Yeah.
You mean it's a missile weapon you use in the shoot phase? How's it not?
Well, you didn't put 27 for Dewey's list. You put 15, mate.
But you can also use that in the move phase. And as you charge,
you can lose Lurtz's throwing shield in the whatever.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking. Sorry, the
Yes.
bow aren't throwing weapons. Yeah.
So
No,
that should have been 27. Should have been 27 of those.
While I'm moving.
Well, I did it wrong for Dewey's list and right for this one. Okay. This list.
It's like there's the meme of the guy that your girl says not to worry about, and Assault on Helm's Deep is that guy, and this is just I don't even know.
This is the guy Warrior.
Yeah, this is guy shivering in the corner, thinking, why am I not taking a Legion? I mean, you've got what is the Witch King? I guess it's a good, really, really, really good magic caster. However, you don't have the synergy with Black Nuns because you only have 4 of them.
This was always the sort of thing that I had when I was writing Mordor Easterling lists. It's like you can have, say, the Emperor with a block of 12 dudes who get the fight 5, right? But then you have other troops outside of that. So you might just have a random little block of Black Nuns, be it 4 or 5 kind of wide. And that's sort of what Jay has here, because then outside of that, he's got Uruks, and it's just, how does that really work? I'm not sure it works very well. I don't know. It's a bit.
I might. I'll let you finish, Sam, but I think I might come to Jay's defense here.
Oh, go ahead, mate.
Brooks chin.
Yeah, so Ash, we were going to ask, because you played him at Stowmarket with a very similar list, didn't you?
I did, and that was one of the most interesting
lucky.
games. I think we'll save that for the GBHL season review because that game was horrendously cursed. And I managed to draw against Jay.
I mean, we're not going to be going into every game in, detail in the season review. So,
oh yeah, but like you're going to talk about like the top 5 moments or whatever, and that would be one of them.
Okay.
Stop shitting on my parade, Elliot.
Anyway,
like it's the fact this is 41 models. However, 8 of them are in a ballista, in 2 ballistas. That just like you have less models than James, and all Jameses are useful.
Yeah. And the rest of the 5 as well. So it's like, oh
yeah. And yeah, the Witch King is a good magic caster, and you do have strength 5 lures. Is Rasku strength 5?
Yeah.
So yeah, they all
I
are.
don't know.
I don't know.
I think so.
I can see why he would take this over the Legion. So the ballistas in the Legion only get rerolling 1s, whereas taking this list, you get the best caster in the game. You get Lurtz, the best combat hero in the game. Am I right? Am I right, Vince?
He's up there.
You also get Rescue, who's pretty cool, and also a good killing hero. You get
And Corbane.
I was. That is a good point. I was going to bring that up, but I did forget.
That's probably the
Corbane,
most important part.
yeah, Corbane can be scenario winning. The Witch King can be scenario winning. You also don't have to worry about scenarios like Contest, which you can do well in with Assault because you have 2 bombs, but it makes it nicer to have a Witch King in there. You've got really good shooting. I think this list would outshoot Dewey with the ballistas. I think it would also probably give Jake Rawson a very difficult time. Maybe not so much Farmer.
Why would this give Jake Rawson a difficult time?
Yeah.
Because he still shoots. Sorry, Jake has Galadriel, doesn't he? No, it doesn't. I rescind that statement. I mean, I don't mind it. I think it's just I don't think it's fair to say that Assault on Helm's Deep is like the guy she tells you not to worry about, because I think they are completely separate, like list building strategies. And this
I'd rather
gives you
have
more
2
tools.
bombs that re-roll, whatever, than a Witch
Sam,
King.
you've been spending the last 2 hours of this pod saying how you can kill the guy with a brand, you can just compel the guy with a bomb.
Yeah,
They're
but,
so bad.
this
You can't do anything about them.
You're
You can just nullify them so easily.
Mr. Man taken out of context, huh? Nice one, chum. Your bombs compared to this, when this has less synergy within the list, is like, it's just, I don't know. I don't see. I mean, I don't know if Jay's taking this because he doesn't have other models painted, whether it's because he wants to take a more fun list. He just wants to take Vrasku because, Vrasku cool. I don't know.
He did say that he doesn't have anything really to play for at the finale. So
That's the other thing. Yeah, does he actually give a shit?
maybe
When I just look at this, I really think he does not give a shit, because he would take Bob Galadriel if he gave a shit.
That is a direct quote. He did say that he doesn't really have anything to play for. But
Yeah.
I think
he's
used Assault a lot this year. He loves the ballistas, clearly.
He does love terrorizing people with the ballistas.
I think he's just gone, so I want to incorporate them, but the amount that he's played against Witch Kings, he's like, well, Witch King do be really good, so let's just combine the 2 and have fun.
I think, yeah, Elliot, you've done well there. The ballistas are fun, and he loves using them. And also, Assault on Helm's Deep is boring to play. You just sit there and go, duh. Whereas at least with this list, you've got 2 combat heroes, 3 combat heroes if you include the Witch King. You've got Magic, which is fun. You've got Creebane, or Creebane.
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 Where would I move my Creebane?
I wonder how many Will is on the Witch King.
15.
Is it 15? Okay.
Because is there any chance that Jay can overtake me to come
No.
third?
No.
So the top three are already secure, which is a little bit upsetting. I'd want,
No, you
it'd be good
wouldn't.
to have.
You don't sound
it'd be good
very
to have-
upset about
That
it.
is
It'd be good
such
to have
cap.
some-
You're lying. You're lying
it'd be
through
good
your
to have
teeth,
something to
mate.
play
You're
for.
lying through your teeth. Oh, it's really upsetting. I can't be knocked off my podium.
Lol.
Some hardware for the Golems gamers either way you look at it. So
Squid octopus reaction.
it's pretty typical. Zoidberg.
Zoidberg. My
Zoidberg in.
God, we just got hit with a Zoidberg. Elliot, if we get 25
That was so
likes,
funny.
Elliot, if we get 25 likes, would you go to the finale dressed as Zoidberg?
We get 50 likes. I will dress up as
50
Zoidberg.
likes.
Okay.
Oh,
50
that-
Oh, I
likes.
can't
When
wait
is
to
this
make
getting
50
uploaded?
accounts and
Get
like
it done. Share it.
Smash that like button.
Share it. Smash the like button, folks. Okay.
Right, that's a direct quote. If you would like to see Elliot as Zoidberg at the finale,
Where would I find a Zoidberg costume? Me out here on Amazon.
I'll buy one because it's obviously there's no shadow of a doubt that
Yeah,
I'm gonna make 50 accounts. So you have to wear it.
we're definitely getting 50 likes.
You have fun with that, my guy. With all our new subscribers, maybe.
Oh yeah. Sheesh.
Okay, so moving on from Jay's list. Very, very solid player. I'm sure he will do fantastic with it as always. We have Sam Grattan's list. Do you want to
Let's
take
Oh, yeah, Zoidberg.
very recently as well, though, haven't we?
Brother Zoidberg.
Yeah. So my list is basically, I mean, it not basically. It is the exact same list I took for my evil faction to Sterling. So I've got Sandman on horse as my leader. So you've got 4 Uruk-hai warriors with shield, 6 Uruk-hai warriors with pike, 2 Orc warriors with shield, 2 with spear, and then a Creebane. I've got the Witch King of Angmar, Crown Horse. He's 3/13/3. I've got 10 Black Numenorians and 8 Morannons with shield spear. And then I've got Suli Dooley, Suladan the Serpent Lord, Hoodlord, with 2 Harad with bow, 1 Raider with war spear, and 1 Serpent Rider. So 40 models in total. The lowly 2 bows. Basically, really fun casters that mess people, and Saruman's just good fun. -1 Harbinger, Black down front line, Suladan, because he's just way better than a banner. Creebane and the 2 Cav 4 objectives, still has March. And the Witch King can do a job with Suladan to go in combat and kill stuff depending on the game or what I need them to do.
I didn't even have to put this list into Lonely Night again. I just copied and pasted from the Sterling. Pretty late.
So I enjoyed it a lot at Sterling, to be fair. It's a lot of control.
You've spoken about it on the pod since you went to that event. Don't know if you have.
No.
How did you find it?
I had a good time. I mean, what games I played? I played Capture Control against Arnold as one of mine. Against, I think, James, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the gentleman's name was Michael.
Yeah, Michael.
Lovely guy. Absolutely amazing game I had with him. And he totally is a fan of the pod. So shout out Michael if you're watching this.
Michael Henry, I'm pretty sure his
Michael.
name was.
Big shout out, Michael from Sterling.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he was from Edinburgh.
Yeah, Edinburgh.
I have Scottish roots.
Yeah, lovely fella.
Obvious.
So yeah, I won that game basically because I didn't not fail to roll because it's 5s to kill on one dice and then 6s on the other. I was always saying, okay, 5s to kill on the blue dice, and I would always roll a 5 or a 6 on the blue dice every single time, and roll like a 2 on the other coloured dice.
Were these the famous Pompey blue dice?
No, they were the only Dan's. slash
Dan.
X.
Oh,
it's-
shout out to Dan Hawkins.
Saw those debuted recently.
If
Yeah.
you'd like to see some nasty feet pics, go to onlydance.com.
Nasty.
Absolute grotty toes.
And then I lost in a game of recon against Alan, which was incredibly. It was a tough loss. I mean, I was very hungover, but James the feet emoji.
God, these reactions were such a good idea.
I don't remember how. Oh yeah, and I played against. I
Didn't you
forgot
lose
the
that game of recon, Sam, because you failed to combat off of one guy with like
Mhm.
14
Yeah.
dice or something
I
unbelievable?
had a lot of dice to kill a guy. I know Saruman took a wound from Haleth as well, from like in the ways, and I failed on my fate on 1s and 2s.
I think you mean Aldor.
The Aldor, because Aldor reloaded
Oh.
it and to wound.
No, it was Aldo?
We had
Yes,
that
'cause-
chat in the chat, so I think it was.
Haleth is the little boy who becomes fight 10
Oh
for no
no, yeah,
reason.
it was
No
old
wonder
man.
Sam wanted to be him.
Actually, little boys like that.
It was old man. Yes, that was the one.
Classic Sam.
Yeah, Sam's nowhere near as interested in old men.
Definitely. And yeah, I played. I can't remember his name again. He's also a fan of the channel, which is really bad. I don't remember his
Too
name.
many fans, eh?
Yeah, all the Scottish love our channel, mate. So don't you worry.
Out of Scotland.
Um,
Out
Yeah.
to an entire country.
How Scotland.
we had like a Dwarf King, Galadriel, Saruman the White list, and I got incredibly cheesy luck with just killing his dwarfs, essentially.
Any Scottish listeners? Sorry, I do have to chime in here and say, search up Brian Shillinglaw on Wikipedia. Okay, Scottish roots.
That is such a weird thing for you to just fucking
Scottish
add in.
roots. Check it out.
Do you think they're going to tip you any harder than like?
They'll love it because they're like, yes, this man has Scottish roots. I love this podcast.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I basically just want to use the two heroes because it's really good fun. And I think it has some legs when it comes to a list in general.
Mic drop from Sam. Oof. I quite like this list also, Sam. I think it is going to perform worse for you this event than it did at Sterling because
Ash, you said the complete opposite previously.
Yeah, you totally did.
no, and that's because of the meta change. With the in the meta we saw, a month or so ago with no Assault on Helm's Deep and
The meta has not changed in a month.
This is
And-
a rapidly evolving meta.
and no Assault on Lothlorien. I think the fact that you're going to come up against such heavy shooting. If you play Dewey, eek. If you play Assault on Helm's Deep, eek. if you play Assault on Lothlorien, oh no, this suffers to shooting big. But I think you'll have fun with it. Hopefully you can podium at 100 for the boys.
I'm going for a good Saturday night and to have fun and to pick up a place trophy for the team.
As the captain of the Gollum's Gamers, I don't know if anyone ever read. If you're a proper Gollum's Gamer nerd, go back through the Facebook page in the GBHL and look up our team announcement Facebook post.
I remember that. Yeah.
If you like
Gathering around the campfire.
if you go back and like
Preview.
if you go back and like that Facebook post, you get a high five.
It was so good.
Yeah, so Sam is actually the captain, so he will be lifting the trophy and passing the captaincy over to someone else.
Yeah, to anyone not ginger.
It has to stay in the bloodline, But I think you'll do well with this, Sam. and it'll be fun because Saruman and the Witch King together do cause carnage. So
Sam Dubiahe causing carnage. Okay. We are going to move on from Sam's Witch King Saruman list with Soldan, of course, to Vince's.
no.
Helm
Oh my god!
You're one of the filth, are you, Vince?
So basically, yeah, I know it's boring, but I didn't actually want to bring this list.
But you
Guys,
have. So
Just didn't have the models ready. So I've got this.
would you like to run through it for the audio listener?
Yeah, so it's Assault on Helm's Deep. We got the Urukai Commando Shield, 7 Urukai with crossbow, 6 with pike, 1 with banner pike, a bomb team, and then an identical warband led by a captain with crossbow, and then 2 ballistas. 44 models.
Now, when you said earlier about having 3 flame brands, did you have 3 flame brands on your list that you submitted?
Yeah.
As in, you definitely only had 2? Because
so the Berserker's got 1, right? And then the other 2 got.
So I think when I put 2 flaming brands on each warband, it only came to 798 points. And I was trying to figure out, where are these other 2 points? Where you meant to put 3, because that would have brought it to 800. Because in your email, you only put 2, but you're definitely 2 points more.
So the bomb team is 82 points if you take the warriors with the flaming brands. So it's 80 points if only the Berserker has a flaming brand. It's 82 if both the other 2 guys have flaming brands. It's 1
so maybe
point
I should. Oh, I see. So it's on the Berserker as well. I think maybe
you get it with the Berserker automatically.
It's on it already. Oh, because I put 2 in each box and it still came to 798. Anyway, I digress.
Classic loading. So yeah, this is you put 17 bows, but actually it's 14. Is it 14 crossbows, a crossbow on the captain, and 2 ballistas? Yeah.
So
there's a lot of shooting. It's no one's going to enjoy playing this.
Not even
I'm a pretty nice guy, so they'll have fun playing me. Hopefully, maybe not.
Vince, I bet you will, stand there in silence for 2 hours as you just annihilate the other person's arm.
Now, Vince,
Take their hand and walk off. You won't even say it. You'll just be like, unlucky.
I'm going for most sporting with this list.
If you win most sporting with this list, I'll buy. I don't know what I'd do.
That is my goal.
You could be captain of the team next year.
Okay, done. If I win most sporting with this list,
just forfeit all your games, Vince.
captain of the Gollum's Gamers.
Just take power.
So, taking that pin out, and we're going to now talk about why Assault on Helm's Deep is still a nervous meta choice. The fact that Vince can set up 15 crossbows is horrific. With the 2 ballistas, I think this list outshoots probably anything in the game. You have a good model count. You've got effectively 40 Urukai to deal with. The bombs are heinous. They just I don't realistically know how you deal with 2 bombs. Like you have to come towards this list because it's outshooting you. When you get there, it's easy to avoid. It's not even easy to avoid 1 bomb, but as Sam said, it's like a piece of piss to take 1 bomb out and like nullify it. But 2, they're gonna get you. And then they blow.
I've played a list with 3 bombs before, and none of them even went off.
Yeah, but that's because you're a great player, mate. So you must have nullified that really well.
So it can be done, only if you're a good enough player.
I don't think that.
Yeah,
Sorry,
go ahead. The bombs, I think, are what actually make this list super scary because you have to run at Assault. You have to run at them. And then you've got to deal with avoiding the bombs as well. So you've got like both threats, like one at close range, one at long range. And you'd think that a weakness of this list is like it can't deal with heroes, but then you got the bombs, which can just
The bombs are so
evaporate one.
effective at dealing with heroes because they just can't go
Yeah.
in. I mean, unless they go
Yeah.
in entirely on their own, and then you just
Yeah.
shoot into that combat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's proper scary.
I do think James and Rawson's list does outshoot this.
Yeah, James Goble, are you still here, mate? You
Yeah,
alright?
sorry, boys.
I've just seen James for 10 minutes looking
I
like
really, really, really doubt that, Sam.
How's
How-
it not?
How's it out shooting this? I don't get it.
Oh, blinding light. So you hit 2 crossbows, right?
Yeah.
2, maybe 3. Then you go through in the way with a guy behind. You maybe kill 1.
Yeah, but you're not. The crossbows aren't what you're scared of. You're scared
And
of
then
the
you have a
ballistas.
ballista that hits on a 6, rerolling 1s with a might point. Then you only reroll a scatter on a 1, and it hits not a guy with a bow. So you've essentially killed nearly 0 bows in your shoot phase.
We start with more models though. We've got 44 models.
Yeah, but then
How many does Farmer
Remember,
James has
Vince,
11.
remember that Vince can sit outside of 24 inches and shoot the
You
ballistas.
can't do that with crossbows. James deploys 20 inches or 18 inches away. As long as he can deploy 10 inches in front of him, and it doesn't matter. As long as he's within that 24 range.
Vince, are you using the OG Isengard Games Workshop dice?
The brown ones. I know there's 2 versions.
No, the
The black ones are
I don't have
okay.
the black ones, which I know are cracked.
your list would be potentially better if you had those dice. So
Yeah. So if I had the black ones, I'd definitely outshoot those lists. Yeah.
how haven't you got them with the amount you've been playing Isengard? 100.
because they cost like 50 quid.
It's a good investment.
I think, unfortunately, Sam, I mean, you make a good point. Galadriel, potentially, but Círdan, definitely not. If you land that one hit, Vince just stays there. And
Found that one hit, and then it's only a 50-50 to kill him.
Yeah, but how do you land the one hit? You have to go through in the ways first of all. There's gonna be at least 2, probably 3, maybe 4. Then you have to do the scatter. Like it's so improbable for it to happen.
It is very improbable.
This does
Then
not
also,
shoot James's list.
If you want to like affect a large number of models with blinding light, you just bubble up, and then if you do get that hit, you're doing a lot more damage as well. And also, if you leave anyone outside that bubble, you just target those. So you pretty much have to just bubble up, and it makes.
If a ballista's killing 1 model a turn, who cares?
No, it won't kill 1 model though. If you get a hit, it will just
But
fly
you can
through.
put them so you can scatter it to someone on the outside who is not going to hit anyone else.
Like it's the fact it rerolls only
It's
scatter.
hard to do that though. It's hard to have a good scatter target when you're also trying to
It's
stay
totally
in
not.
blinding
When
light.
you're just set up correctly, you can do it quite easily.
James doesn't.
But
have
Jake
to
doesn't have that many models, and if you're trying to put a scatter target out, Vince just takes 15 shots at it, hits 2, and probably kills it. Like
You can still have the scatter target within the 6 of blinding light.
that's why I said you'd take your 15 shots and you only hit 2.
The scatter's
But,
3.
Yeah, the scatter's 3 inches, and the bolt could potentially go, D6 through the lines. What I'm saying is that Vince only needs to get 1 piece of luck to turn the game around.
But
Whereas
to hit on a 6, when you only reroll 1s, you have a might point. Then to do your scatter to hit Círdan, only rolling 1s, you needing a 6.
See, I think hitting Círdan is like the pinnacle of good luck, but you just have to hit a target. Like even if you got a direct hit, fine. You then miss the first in the way. You just said there could potentially be 3 or 4 in the ways. If you hit that first in the way, you then decimate 3 guys backwards and not
that's assuming you've rolled a 6 on your scatter as well.
Yeah, so you have to hit and then roll your scatter, obviously. But Vince doesn't care if that takes 4 turns,
But you've lost so many crossbows by that point. If you're taking 4 turns of elven shooting, that D5 winning on 5s.
Yeah, the D5 is very.
You haven't lost that many. I don't think you have lost that many.
Well, James has 11 shots. Say you take 4.
Yeah, but how many of those are elf shots and how many of those are
8.
Still a
8
fair
of them. So say you have 4 turns, 32 shots. That's what, hitting 24, is it?
No, because he rerolls as well if he's standing still.
Okay, so let's say 28. I don't know.
Yeah, say 28.
Then say you have an in the way for back crossbows, half go through 14, and then a third of those kill.
So you kill him 5,
Yeah.
but in 4 turns.
Providing he doesn't kill any of the front row as well. If he kills 7.
Yeah, he kills front row. Like you could just lose a lot of, like I don't see a reason. If James plays it correctly, I don't see how he physically doesn't get outshot.
That's
or
before
does get outshot.
those as well.
But
Yeah.
Vince is
And
starting
this is
with 8
also
more
if Kid
models.
stood like in the open as well. Like if there's any terrain and stuff, there's just ways you can go around it.
Hmm.
The
I
blind
mean,
light nerf is
it's
so
definitely
bad.
James.
Like for blind light against a Southampton Steve is so good now. It's unbelievable. I can't even fathom the argument to say that this outshoots James's list. I don't even that doesn't even compute in my brain because it totally does not.
I mean, it's James's best chance is you try and outshoot this list. I still don't think it's a good one. I mean,
How?
The likelihood of like, even if you don't, even you just have to hit, and then you just have to hit, and then you're killing 1 or 2 guys a turn, and James is already starting on 8 less models than you.
But that doesn't have bows. James can sketch it so they
potentially,
don't
yeah,
have bows.
it doesn't necessarily have to kill bows.
Then you just get outshot.
At the same time, Vince can also just walk the 2 bombs up the board, slowly
You
getting
just
closer
shoot
to
the
James.
people with the bombs.
Yeah.
And they do nothing.
And then
And then
you're
at that point,
protecting
I
your
just walk up
crossbows.
to him and he just dies.
I mean, I wouldn't advise trying to outshoot a Saw on Helm's Deep. It would be fantastic to play test this and see how it goes, or just play at the event because it doesn't really matter. I still think Assault on Helm's Deep is incredibly strong, and I don't think Blinding Light is definitely way worse for it, but I don't think it's automatically game losing.
I'm not saying it's automatically game losing, but I'm saying James outshoots this. That's the precedent of the point.
Okay, so we just take another approach then. The ballistas sit back and shoot every single turn while Vince marches towards James's list.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not out shooting James, but ballistas are still having that same impact. And then Vince can, deploy his bombs and, cause carnage into James's list.
Then James would have 3 Fight 6 heroes to choose.
Yeah, I think Vince coming towards me would probably be the worst
It's
option.
you've probably just given a worse scenario.
Yeah.
You've just given
But
James.
how can the
Those
Fight 6
bombs can
heroes
only do so much.
Yeah, but how can the Fight 6 heroes get anywhere near Vince's line when he's got 2 bombs in the middle of it?
James could lose priority. Vince could charge, and then James could use his 10-inch moving horses and go combat, go away again.
Yeah, he could do.
There's a way you can get your heroes in.
Yeah, but what if you win priority? Then you can't charge, and the bombs go in and
Then
could
you
detonate
can-
and kill half his army.
Just move away.
You could not put them in.
Yeah.
No, what happens is James, he channels Blinding Light, rolls that double 1, and then next turn
into existence.
he fails
that's
to
the only
cast
way.
again, and then by that point his whole army's dead.
That's the only way. If James double one's by the line,
Just double
It's
1.
fine, because we're going to play in Maelstrom anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that is the thing that Vince loses in most.
Yeah,
probably is
yeah.
Maelstrom.
So yeah, that's another point with this list. So I definitely don't think it's OP because of the scenarios. Maelstrom is bad, and also I just don't think it wins big. So like in scenarios like destroy supplies, recon, realistically, the only game plan is to sit back and shoot. So you try and win on break, leader.
It's a good plan, to be fair.
It is, but you win like, small 3-4-0. Which is good, but I don't know if it's tournament winning. I mean, Jay's done really well with it, but I don't know.
Jay did do well with it.
He seems to, maybe he's just been lucky with the scenarios, but I found that there are scenarios that really struggles to win big or even win.
See, he used it a lot before the nerf. So
before the nerf, I don't think he played against Blind Light in any of the games as well.
what is
Fine,
the
so
scoring
that's
of this event? Is it any different, the scoring, or is it major, minor, or anything? Do we know?
It's just
No,
long
I think
tracks.
Bog
So
standard.
Oh, it's just
Like,
3-1, I think, or 3-1, nothing.
like obviously the nerf did tone this list down, but
I
not
don't
that
think it
much.
toned it down as much, as people expect. I think the Assault and Home Sleep list could still do well.
Yeah, like the bombs are exactly the same, and the ballistas they can still hit. Like you might not need to reroll. You might just be like rolling fours, and you'd be like, okay, well,
and it's really the same list. Yeah, so
it's the same list. Like actually, I think the bombs are really like where this list really shines. Like the bombs are so scary.
The bombs are scary, but
yes, yeah.
agreed. Yeah. But it's like this does.
It's like you can't just like go in with Thorin and be like, oh, I'm just gonna hero combat and like you can't stop me.
You can if it's just Thorin.
Super reliable. And
I just do think the ballistas just do murder stuff still.
They don't.
Like
I think your mind is tainted on a lot of things that have gone wrong for you previously, and then they influence.
I should tell the viewers I am petrified of playing this list and have never beaten it. So
Your
You don't
opinions
take
are-
anything with shooting mitigation,
Your opinions are incredibly.
and you've only
skewed.
played it pre-nerf.
Yeah, like
yeah, I haven't played it since the nerf. I just did, but like you're hitting on a 4 and you're re-rolling 1, so you're only missing a third of the time, and then you get to re-roll that 1. 50-50 you're hitting. As long as you're hitting with those ballistas, which you're more likely to hit than not, so it's over a 50% chance that you hit, you then just do start chewing away at lists.
yeah, but we're saying that for as a top list when it comes to blinding light, a lot of the lists that we've seen have blinding light.
Yeah.
This does lose to that.
let's not forget though, this list got 2 banners. 2
Double banner.
tiny 3-inch banners.
Oh yeah, when I saw the double banner when I was putting it into Lonely Night, I was like, my man's gone with the double banner. Let's go, Vin.
Vince, I think to make it more nervous, you should have got rid of one of the banners, added bog standard Urukai to the assault ballistas, which then ups your total
Yeah, that's
model
what I
count,
thought as
which
well.
then allows you to have more crossbows.
I mean, but the problem is you're just tying down more guys who can't move away from the siege engine. I don't know. Like, that's another option.
He wants to have Suladan without actually having Suladan.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I think we spent long enough talking about assault.
Final point,
Ashley.
even in Maelstrom, which is you think is a bad scenario, you really need to beware of the bombs because you move on first.
Yeah.
If you win priority against this list, you're like, oh great, I can come on and kill the ballistas. And then Vince comes on with 2 bombs, knowing exactly where you are, just detonates them instantly in the perfect position.
Again, you can line across the board edge and not let that happen.
Yeah, and then you've got
There are ways you can deploy to mitigate that.
Okay, and let's not open another can of worms. Moving on, we have Ash's Witch King Suladan list.
Oh Jesus.
To close off the final preview of the 20.
Shall we just end it here instead?
I thought, what better way? Now, the keen-eyed viewers may have noticed that I always
You've still got a tier list to do, James.
I always
Thanks for watching another episode of the Gollum's Games podcast.
I always leave Ashley's Witch King Suladan list to the very, very end of the.
You could have. You always do this to screw me over because everyone doesn't want to hear it for 100th time. I'm gonna make.
I want you to read every single line.
I've got so many
list.
points to make as well.
Don't worry, we will not be spending very long.
We're gonna start off by again abusing Ali King as the so-called list checker for the GBHL finale, telling me that my list was 2 points under when in fact it isn't, and then confirming because I emailed him back saying, "Are you sure?" And he was like, "It's 798." So I changed it to add 2 shields, and then I sent it to Elliot, and Elliot goes, "Your list is 2 points over," and I said, "It's been confirmed by the list checker."
Cool. So Elliot, the real statistician,
Elliot,
our
in-house stat gamer, has the list I've submitted is now back to 800 points, or as Ali thinks, 798.
Which is this list for the record that the viewers are seeing on screen.
So this list is the 800 point list.
Things on the podcast.
Yeah. So if for some reason you're playing an opponent and they have Smaug and 2 dragons, that's because Ali can't count and has confirmed that list thinking it was only 800 points.
Question your opponents immediately at the their list won't be accurate.
Actually, don't trust anything to do with any of the lists that have been approved because clearly they're all wrong. So, apologies for that run.
Please still join
Ali,
the team, though. Please still
yeah,
join.
Ali, no, please. We do need
Yeah,
you.
because I
Please
thought it
be
was
our
only
man.
not okay when I was slagging off Ali. Well,
No, but please, we do Ali for Gollum's Gamers 2024.
Jesus Christ, can you guys get his knob out your mouth?
No, put it deeper.
Oh, you guys love it, but fucking hell, at least try.
Sam was about to do the action on camera.
Was.
I could see it. He prevented himself.
The DSP.
So, we are taking an 800-point Witch King Suladan list to the GBHL finale, proving once and for all that practice with a list is key. So we have got the Witch King of Angmar with a crown of Morgul and a horse with 3-14-3. Is that correct, Stat Boy?
It's your list, mate. You tell me why you're asking me.
Well, again, we could go back into the old debate of why
You literally just
Lonely
asked me a
Knight is
question about
trash.
your own list, mate. You are botting.
I have only taken this list. This is the exact same list that I submitted to Worcester and to Stirling. It is 3-14-3. I've then got 4 Orc Trackers, 7 Morannon Orcs with Shield and Spear, 7 Black Numenorians. I've then got Shagrak, Captain of Cirith Ungol with heavy armor and the Shield of Cirith Ungol. 2 Orc Trackers, 3 Morannon Orcs with Shield and Spear, 1 Morannon Orc with just a spear to save that point. 3 Black Numenorians. I've got the best model in the game, the Mouth of Sauron with an armored horse, 4 Orc Trackers, 2 Morannon Orcs with Shield and Spear, 1 Morannon Orc with only a spear. Again, saving that 1 point. 3 Black Nums, and then the most overpowered model in the game, which is Suladan the Serpent Lord with an armored horse and 3 Serpent Riders, rounding off with a grand total of 44 models, which means I will break when 23 of them die. Having 10 bows to outshoot James and Vince, having 11 might in total.
James Goble.
13.
Sorry to cut you off there, Ashley. You had your hand raised.
Yeah, it's Cirith Ungol, not Cirith Ungol.
Oh my god. Sorry, it is getting late. How long have we been potting for now?
Okay, so Ashley Walger, I'm going to click
Yes.
to the next slide in 30 seconds. You have 30
Okay.
seconds to summarize your list, okay?
Okay. So effectively, this list has the best caster in the game, the best support hero in the game. I've got a double caster, 13 Black Nums with a Harbinger front, terrible. I've got some decent shooting. I've got strength 4, and I've also got Shagrat in there to punch a hole into the plethora of high defense lists that you got. I'm also above the average model count. And I've got great maneuverability. And that is my third consecutive.
Okay, without further ado, let's move on.
Yes. I just like to tell the viewers again that practice makes perfect, and if you just use a list again and again and again, then you can it can do well for you.
Why don't you do that? Why don't you do that Defense of the Shire? You should have taken that list over and over again, mate.
Yeah,
You did, and it didn't work.
I actually managed to win an event at Atomic Cards.
Practice what you preach, buddy. Huh?
Okay, now without further ado, we are going to move on to our tier list. So for the audio listeners, we are going to tier list our list.
Elliot, he needs to join our fucking team.
Well, he shouldn't have potted.
We need him.
Okay.
Ali, I don't condone this behaviour, okay?
Yeah, just because
I strongly condone this.
Yeah, just because you're gagging.
That's strongly condemned.
So the best sort of tier to be in, if you're an audio listener, is to be a lemon list. And moving down from there, we have silly, nervous, dog, and then Ali King. So if you're a trash list, Ali King might take that list. So to start off this week, we have Ash's Witch King Suladan list. Where is it going? Reactions, please, folks.
Lemon. Let's go.
Have James and Ashley on lemons at the moment for the audio listeners.
Yeah, lemon.
Who is Adam being? Is Adam being Farmer or Rawson?
Ooh.
Ali. Okay, so Ash's list has started us off in lemon, where it's sat for most of the year. Really, I don't think there's much to talk about there. James's Last Alliance list.
This is a pretty silly nervous
Silly
list.
nervous.
Got to be silly nervous, right?
Yeah, top of silly nervous.
Thoughts? Yeah, top. I think.
Yep.
Okay. Jay Achaya's Mordor Isengard list. Now, I think when we did this last time for Stone Market, we might have put it in nervous. James with the
dog emoji.
I'm not sure that emoji encompasses what the dog tier reflects. Really,
It's too
I think
cute.
it's been
Sorry,
more like,
let me change it.
rabid dog of some description.
A dog doo-doo.
Yeah, I like that. So I think we put it in nervous, but maybe that was. Did he have certain scenarios
Can
confirmed?
we put it in Zoidberg too?
Then? I should have called it Zoidberg.
Is that
really.
above lemon?
That's an L for me. Yeah. We're renaming the lemon tier next year to Zoidberg. No, typical.
Oh, Jesus.
Jay's list. Where is it going? There was a vote.
I think it's nervous. It's a nervous list.
Keeping it nervous.
I actually think Sam and James argued so vociferously against Assault on Helm's Deep. I'm now thinking that Jay's list is better than Vince's.
James and Sam as the assault.
Haters.
Yeah, haters. Where would you go?
You guys are actually mongs. The fact you think me
Yeah,
and
I
Jim
agree.
assault haters because we said that it loses to blinding light shooting. It's unbelievably botty.
Sam out here getting in his. You have to.
You're so thick.
Sam, this is you right now.
King emoji.
Put this shit at either bottom of nervous or top of dog, mate. That's what I'm back.
Really?
Out here.
Let's put Jay in dog
Nervous.
just for fun.
Are we putting him in dog? It looks like there's
Now he's never gonna come on.
It looks like there's 3 for dog there. Okay. All right, moving on. We have my Dragon Emperor list.
Okay, now this is an Ali King list.
Yeah, let me get the crown back.
It's a Dragon
This is-
Emperor. I'm not sure it physically can be Ali King.
You've somehow managed to make it terrible.
It literally is Ali King's list. What do you mean it can't?
Yeah,
be
no,
Ali King?
I actually
Yeah.
really like it. This is how
He's-
I would run the Dragon Emperor personally.
He's
I
lovely.
think it's silly nervous.
Yeah, silly nervous. But I
No.
think below James's.
Ash
I
and
prefer James's list.
I
cast your votes.
prefer Jay. I
Yes,
prefer
Vince.
James' list as well.
But do you think it's sincerely nervous?
No,
Silly nervous, yeah.
I think it's in the nervous category.
Silly.
How can you have a nervous Dragon Emperor list?
Yeah,
I do not understand.
How is it nervous?
That's how badly you're nerfing it.
You're just taking it like,
It's not.
yeah, I don't know.
Sam,
It's
you're,
above average.
you're the casting vote, Sam.
Yeah,
Silly
okay.
nervous.
So wait,
Let's
Sam was
go.
nervous. Who else was in nervous?
No, I'm silly nervous.
Oh, you're silly nervous. Okay.
Yeah.
It's going in silly, mate.
But it's
Can't
underneath-
have Dragon Emperor in fucking nervous. Grow up.
Yeah, I was about to say, I thought
No,
you said nervous.
been
I was
told.
like, what are you doing? Okay, now Sam's list.
I think this is. Yeah. I think this is worse than
I think it's worse than
Ooh.
James's.
I think Emperor is still really, really good.
Yeah, I think this is worse than
I think
Elliot's.
it's better than yours, Elliot.
Okay, so me and Vince think worse. Ash thinks better. James, what do you think? Sam, you're the deciding vote.
Wait, better than whose? Sorry,
Than mine.
or worse? Ooh. I'm gonna
That picture of Sam
say
is also so
it's, I'm gonna say it's better.
Better? Okay, so it looks like it's going James, Sam, and then me.
It's two all, Elliot, mate. I need to cast the final vote.
Oh, I'll
I
put it
see.
below then. I'll change my vote.
You were going to
Oh.
think that yours was better, but do you not?
Yeah, no, it's there. Yeah, it's there.
All right, thanks for that. And now finally we have Vince's assault list.
Jesus, we've got to put Vince below James after I've been so royally ass fucked by your logic.
Yeah.
I think his is more well-rounded.
This is me right now.
It's silly nervous, but I'd say below James's. Yeah.
It might
I
even
like
be
Last
below
Alliance.
Sam
I like
and
Last
Elliot.
Alliance a lot.
Nah, I think it's better than Sam's.
I think it's nervous.
Jeez.
Put it above mine.
Someone else even nervous.
Psych.
Psych. Say
I-
psych right now.
I would probably put it above Sam as well.
Let's move Jay up to nervous. Come on, we fucked him over there so bad.
Literally, there's. I don't know. It literally. It depends on how many blinding lights there are for Vince's list. If there's like how, depending on how many more there is that we've not seen.
There's only 4 Galadriels. So it
There's
just
four
depends on how many
Galadriels,
kid
there's like 5 Rivendales, so that
Yeah,
could be
5
like-
Rivendales, Gandalf the Greys.
Yeah.
There was a Shadowfax.
Yeah, that was
Gandalf
Gandalf the
White.
White. That was a Shadowfax, not a Gandalf.
Oh yeah,
White.
it's getting worse.
Yeah.
It's not just Shadowfax with fucking strength 5.
There's a Shadowfax with a guy riding on top of it. Potentially
The blue
maybe
fact
Shadow
element.
Lords that are not there. You
Yeah.
know, that information could put it below, but we'll say that there's only the ones that we saw today, and we'll put it above.
Okay, so for the audio listener, going from worst to best, we have Adam Searens down in Ali King. Then we have Jay Achaya in nervous. Then we have myself, Sam, then Vince and James in silly nervous, and Ashley Walger at the very top.
Taking the top spot, as always.
This guy couldn't even have fun at an event that doesn't matter to him.
Still brings the
It's
cheese.
honestly painful to being friends with him, guys. You should not-
Honestly.
I think the viewers are starting to notice this.
I just didn't have time or the ability to
literally
take
have
up a
to do
brand
the
new
Shire.
list. I don't have 800 points of defenders at the Shire.
With
If you didn't live in such a great location, I'm not sure I'd be friends with you.
Hobbits with Gwai here. Gosh.
James, Ash, we own almost every model in the SBG range. I think you could have taken something else.
We do.
You do.
We do. Where would we rank Farmer and Rawson?
Ooh. Dog.
Who should we do first? Rawson. Where would we put Rawson's Galadriel, Thorin, Biffa list?
I might put him next to Jay.
I think it's better than Jay's list in nervous. Yeah.
No,
I
I think
don't know,
it does reach silly nervous, but I don't
It
think it's
feels
above any of
harsh.
ours.
Yeah, it feels harsh to put it.
It does
put it
feel
in nervous.
Yeah. I think it's probably bottom of silly nervous.
Probably
So
bottom
worse,
two
so-
nervous. Yeah.
Below everyone else.
And
Yeah,
what about
Silly nervous.
Farmer's list? Considering he has won 100 with it.
Above.
Yeah.
Either above Vince or above James.
Yeah, I think definitely above mine and yours, Sam, and then.
It's above Vince, maybe above James.
Yeah, it's difficult whether or not it's above James. I think.
I would personally, but
Yeah, it has got the tools. I think it does go above James. So clearly, the Gollum's gamers are quite a competitive bunch, taking all silly, nervous lists.
Apart from Jay.
Apart from Jay, who's taking pure fun.
Well, we haven't had him on the
Just taking
podcast
trash.
because he's not. a very
Jay, we can promise the viewers right now that they will get to meet the mighty Jay in our Christmas special, which will
We made
be
a promise to the viewers there, and we will deliver. We assure you.
100% promise. So make sure you tune in next week for the Christmas special that we will be recording. That'll be great.
Indeed. Okay. So that is going to do it for another one of our event previews, the last of 2023. So if you've watched our event previews this year, thank you very much. We've done a lot of them, been to a crap ton of events as a team, and we look forward to covering more of them in 2024.
Comment below what your favorite event preview has been this year.
Which tier list is the most nervous?
If Monster Tier List doesn't come out on top, I'll be so disappointed.
Oh,
Gosh, that was the. Yeah, that's a Hall of Fame episode right there. I think.
oh, what an evening.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is going to do it. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching another episode of the Gollum's Gamers podcast.